There's only a few certainties in life: death, taxes, and EDP coming back when no one wants him to. And his defense was, no, I wasn't gonna do anything sexual with the kid. I was just here for a cupcake. Did he actually try? Did he actually try and work at Chuck E. Cheese? There's no chance. He literally got Thanos snapped off of the cyberspace, and his name lives in infamy, being synonymous with Predator. The guy's like a tardigrade, or as you might know it, a water bear, which is like this tiny little micro animal that can survive pretty much everywhere. In a volcano, in space. And this time, he's saying, actually, it was all acting. He was only pretending to be a pedophile. He was method acting.
So what advice would I give to EDP445? You need to stop doing this documentary.
This is a dangerous monster. This is a vile predator. And the fact that he is not in jail is nothing shy of an affront to God. I'm sure by now many of you have at least heard of the EDP445 situation. That sounds like some kind of fucking Call of Duty Zombies Easter egg, but for those that don't know, EDP445 stands for Eat That Pussy. He was a big YouTuber. He had a huge online presence, and this week he was accused, and with a lot of evidence backing it, of being a pedophile. And with video evidence, him showing up to a meeting place where he believed he was meeting with a 13-year-old that was actually set up in very similar style to like a Chris Hansen investigation by a YouTuber, Predator Poachers. That name actually is shared by other people who hunt predators, but today this was done by one person, or one group in particular, and that person, the big face behind it, is not a good person at all. And that's why I wanted to do this little intro here, because I want to make it clear that there's no heroes in this story. You can't root for the person behind the investigation of EDP. They did a good thing, but they're a shit person. The main guy behind Predator Poacher has had a lot come out about him recently, showing his prank calls to a BLM hotline where he just says the N-word. He said the N-word, hard R, multiple times. Believes he's like an edgy troll, but his trolling is just saying the N-word. Epic prank, and he's just not someone that I can really appreciate the work of, but he and his group were the ones that broke this story on EDP, who is a very bad person as well, who, with all of this evidence coming forward, which is pretty damning, have put together this whole case against EDP445, and today I watched it all on Twitch, streamed it with the community, so that way we could all be caught up on the internet lore together. I've heard it's really bad. So yeah, the general gist of it, EDP445, a huge YouTuber, very popular YouTuber. I personally wasn't super familiar with his work. I'd always heard his name though, stands for Eat the Pussy 445. So this came out a day ago, which was to hype this up. I think this is only reading text messages, and this is when he actually showed up. This is the only thing I've seen. This guy has a fucked up past. Like, even on this channel, apparently some videos that are still up from streams where he'd call BLM and drop the N-word to them or something. Like, he'd call organizations supporting BLM and just start dropping the N-word or some shit. Like, this guy is not a good guy.
So, everybody go subscribe right now. Go subscribe. And if you want to see the full chat messages...
I'm sorry to interrupt again. Another thing, the reason this video took so long for them to put out... is because he wanted to wait for it to get full monetization. So that's why he kept hyping it up, and the reason why he kept pushing it back, because it wouldn't get full ads on it. So this guy's kind of a real piece of shit, if I'm being honest. Like, he does a good thing in the worst possible way.
And show interest.
Who starts a conversation like that?
You're old, so
what?
bit of talk.
Dropped a mean ass shit. Man, they say fucking chivalry is dead. This guy is suave. Now that is how you flirt. That's a good line for Tinder, I'd say. If you guys need any help on like your game, take notes from EDP. Dropped a mean ass shit. And then send an audio message. Do I have to go to the other ones in order to... He sent a picture of his shit? No fucking... Alright, hold on. Does this... We're gonna have to keep going back and forth. This is gonna be like an MLA formatted fucking research paper here with citations. For these text messages, if I want to see them uncensored, do I have to go to this stream?
For more people to...
So do I have to like cross-reference the uncensored versions with the stream here? I can't show a picture of literal shit on Twitch, but I need to confirm whether or not he sent a shit pic. That's very bold. Just ordered some pizza, about to fuck this shit up. Pizza sounds good. Hell yeah, I'm about to annihilate that shit. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! He sent a picture of his shit! Dropped a mean ass shit and it's a full loaf. This man, he's sending shit pics. And that is not a healthy shit. That's very runny. There's no solid foundation of the stool. That is alarming considering he just annihilated a pepperoni chicken pizza. He also sent his dick. Yeah, but that's not nearly as cool as a shit pic. EDP was breaking new grounds. They were only just starting to talk. It had been 2 days, I think. And then he hits her with, drop a mean ass shit, and then sends a picture of his toilet bowl with poopy in it. Yeah, I'd show the other video, but I'm worried of how many pictures of shit he might have sent. Like, what the fuck is this? Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Good, just having lunch. What did you eat? Tacos. That's cool, what are you doing? Just got done beating my shit. Now watching YouTube. Oh yeah, I just had some tacos. Also just beat the fuck out of my cock. What are you doing? Yeah, he sent a picture of his actual unedited shit. He didn't even put like a cute little emoji over it, so I'm a little concerned to show it. I think we're right here. How is this possible? I just went to a random point in here. How is the bathroom trip going? Going great. I'm fucking this bitch up. What the fuck? Are you sure he only sends one shit pic? Like, it seems like that's all they talked about was him shitting. I went a little too far. I skipped ahead in the lore. I was at 14 minutes, not 20. I accidentally spoiled chapter 2 here, it seems. I like this part. Relax, I'm not a weirdo or anything. When literally 5 days ago he sent a picture of his actual shit in a toilet. No, we're doing both videos. The only reason I'm going back and forth is because these are censored and I want to understand how we got here. Oh, he seems bothered that she's 13, but then for some reason continues to talk. Oh, okay, here we go. So he has like a realization here. Not enough to go to jail over. Okay. So how does he continue to like fall for this then? I was eating a corn dog today and the bitch burned the roof of my mouth. I spit that shit out so fast. Alright. Just a little PSA, don't take pictures like this. These kind of pics just never really work. It's just kind of a weird pic. Make sure you get some good flattering angles. You don't need to put like a ton of thought into it, but just enough to know where it doesn't look like you're crawling under someone's bed. Where are you ticklish? On my back and stomach. If you ever want something from me, and you want it, the easiest way would be to tickle me. Okay. I hope you don't tickle me, that's my weakness. If EDP was a boss battle, tickling would be his weak spot. That'd be your DPS phase. One of these days, I'm gonna surprise you, put my hands over your eyes and be like, guess who? That's like the worst surprise ever. That'd be like the last way I'd want to be introduced to somebody. Ugh, this is so fucking weird. Want your first kiss to be enjoyable. This really does remind me of To Catch a Predator, like the chat logs that they'd show. So he was like super into nibbling on her ear and being tickled and shit. Started talking about sex, and then here he had a realization like, that's fucking illegal and wrong and bad. And now we're caught up. No, we're not. Oh my god, this is still not it. Cute little fingers. Oh, how did this... Okay, what? How did this happen? Literally, like 10 messages ago, he's like, this is bad. Can't do it. We can be friends. Cute fingers, by the way. So you want to have sex? I can go easy, of course. Wait. Nah, EDP doesn't go easy. He goes ultra nightmare mode. There's no slowing down there. Man's just a fucking machine. I honestly enjoy doing what my YouTube name says. Eating the pussy. Yeah. Munching down on those beef curtains, baby! Yeah, there you go, EDP. What's the 445? Just a random number I chose, nothing to the meaning. Definitely has meaning now. I think the 445 absolutely has meaning. The amount of years he'll spend in jail. Well, probably not. You guys, I didn't know this. I learned this the other day. You guys remember Jared Fogle? The guy who had like 15 quadrillion quabooble bytes worth of child porn on his computer, as well as like openly admitting to abusing kids. You know he only got 13 years in jail? Did you know that? I thought he got life imprisonment. This man had so much child porn they had to invent a new way of measuring how much he had. And he only got 13 years in jail. This had to be like a full-time job texting this guy. Putting in 9 to 5 hours here on the text messenger. Can't wait to hug you and kiss you. On the lips. On the cheek. On the neck. And I'd kiss and taste you down there. The vagina. The old vagina. Man, EDP really does just have a way with words. I love to kiss and lick the top of the foot. I love the toes, actually. Huh. So I can lick and suck your boobs. Pretty incredible. How does it feel? Pretty incredible, to be honest. The nipples get hard and really sensitive. I'm telling you, this is a lie. EDP went full fanfic here. He didn't fuck a school teacher. He didn't suckle on her nipples. This doesn't sound like anything a school teacher would say. I'm gonna know more about EDP's fucking life than his therapist does. There's so many text messages. For a virgin, the vagina is tight. Oh, here we go. Getting a health ed course from EDP, the man who just sent a picture of his shit. Basically, when intercourse happens, the penis is stretching open the vagina and forcing those muscles to temporarily stretch apart from one another. That's where the pain comes from. Ah, yes. She should have quizzed him. And what exactly does the potassium pump do in the body, EDP? You seem very knowledgeable on anatomy and physiology. Can you complete my homework? You used the wrong form of your, EDP. Some teacher you are. Your body is full of excitement and anticipation. You're wrong, your again. Your body, I'd anticipating the sex. Poetic. Shakespearean, in fact. I also like roleplay. Hey, that's where you dress up and pretend to be Chris Hansen arresting me. It's a big fetish. Babe, 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 babe. My cute ass little baby girl. How many days have passed since he said, we can only be friends. This is illegal. This is bad. This will fuck me up if it ever got out. I can't do this. And then he immediately goes into, babe, 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 let me suckle your nipples. Man, he really knows what to say. I ran out of toilet paper while taking a shit at the auntie's house. Hey, now I'm starting to get a little hot and bothered if I'm being honest. This guy's just smooth. The amount of times he's told me about his shits that he's taken, sent me a picture of his shit, how can I not start to fall in love, you know what I mean? Such a sassy little shit. I love it. Come to your house, climb through your window, and kiss your cute ass passionately. That's the only solution. Alright, climbing in like the tooth fairy, but instead of leaving money under the pillow, he leaves a little kiss. A little nibble on the ear. Maybe suckle on the toes a bit. Whoa, what the fuck? Handcuff you, throw you in the back of my car, and bring you back to my dungeon. That got really intense super quick. What's brewing? If I'm being honest, it's that I can't wait to feel how tight your vagina is. Cock is really hard. That's how it gets when guys get horny. Ugh. He's really gone in hard now. He's fucking firing in the turbo boosters here. Before it was like, oh, I can't wait to just put my hands over your eyes and say, hello, surprise. Right into, fucking how tight is that pussy? My rock hard dick is about to burst. Ugh, you even have me jerking off. Damn you. He's shaking his fist in the air while he's jerking off. And God damn you! Fuck! Why have you done this? Oh, okay. Hold on. I just read that. Let me just make sure there's nothing there. Hold on. I'm not taking any chances here. Oh, he actually sent his cock. Oh, God. What is happening? He's going wild in the text messages now. Fuck! He's busted nuts twice in a single text string? Lord! I'm gonna come. I'm gonna send it on Instagram. It's not letting me send videos here. What the fuck? That's cum, babe. I hope he, like, came into a glass or something, or like a petri dish and stirs it around like a whole lesson. Ah, madame, this is splooge, also known as semen. Many other names. Basically, whenever it feels so good to the point where I can't take it anymore, that's what happens, yes, the milk, the cream. Holy shit. You weren't kidding, this is really, like, fucking bad. And then the fact that he actually shows up, this is actually horrible. Oh no! He's becoming self-aware! He starts to recognize, like, shit, these could actually be screenshotted. Oh, and then from that concern, immediately back into, like, playing the health teacher. I know your body is growing and starting to develop. That's why I agreed to this. I want to be your first, little cute ass. Want to bend you over my table and oh! Oh! Just want to throw you on my bed and lick you up. Oh! What the fuck? This is worse than like 50 Shades of Grey writing, and that shit's horrible. They unironically use the term like sodden panties in that book. What do you think about that? I like that conclusion, as if you just dropped the mic. Yes, I want to fuck your fucking butthole. I want to butt fuck your pussy. So what do you think? Will you invest in my company? Like it's Shark Tank? That's probably the face he made when he went to meet her in person, and it was just two dudes with a camera. That's probably the exact face he wore right there. That's like a YouTube shocked thumbnail. Of course, real vaginas don't produce lube. Is he a virgin? It's not like vaginas are just dry. It's not like sticking your cock into like sandpaper. Maybe he just means like it doesn't produce Astroglide or something, like a specific lube brand. Like, they don't have, like, it's not like Spider-Man's webs, like in The Amazing Spider-Man, where you have to, like, put new web slingers in there for vaginal lube. But vaginas actually do get lubricated themselves. They're like a self-lubricating apparatus, really. Kiss your daddy goodnight. Sleep tight, princess. So, this is when he finally started to believe this could all be a fucking setup. As if there wasn't an entire fucking 3 seasons of an extremely popular show all about this exact same thing. Even being fully aware of this very real possibility. Literally for like the 10,000th time in this conversation. Yeah, I guess every time he busted a nut, he started to realize this could all be fucking fake and a setup. But then after post-nut clarity faded away, he went right back to the, let me suck your fucking toes and take a shit.
Here, he doesn't want to be.
Let's go have a talk. How about on that bench right there? Okay. Okay.
Can we give him a lav mic so we get better audio? Let's really go in here. Put this on, EDP.
Right here? Coming out here to...
Glasses off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
Oh, okay.
There was...
Do they sell cupcakes
That was...
in this driveway?
Because I'm...
Oh, okay. So you should title a video, instead of, your video, Almost Threw Hands with a 13-year-old, you should title your video, Almost Had Sex with a 13-year-old. I think that'll get a lot of hits, EDP.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is you...
Good one. So he's got like a whole little
Okay, all right.
routine
So,
prepared.
What made you... So you initiated conversation with a 13-year-old knowing she was 13, yes or no?
Correct.
Okay. So is that a good...
That guy in the background's trying so hard to
Okay.
seem like he's not
So,
listening.
You've been exposed for this before.
Correct.
And you called them, but this is damning.
Right.
This is, I had to make sure myself. Do you recognize me?
No.
Okay. I had to make sure myself.
Well, that didn't really work. You don't have the Chris Hansen prestige yet.
Me and my friend Keisha.
Do you know who I am? Nope.
Hilarious, man.
Okay, that hurt.
I appreciate it, man.
what I don't understand, why are you attracted to like 13-year-olds? Like, why are you attracted to underage?
That's a good question,
You
yes.
clearly said
Why do you like children?
in one of the
Asking the hard-hitting
screenshots
questions.
that you've always wanted to be with someone younger. Like you like cops.
Right, right.
Like, what goes through your head?
They should have rehearsed a little bit like what they want to ask.
Real, man.
What goes on?
So why are you a pedophile?
Is loneliness, dude. I'll be completely honest with you, man.
Do
I'm
what
not-
Chris Hansen does. He does a really good job with
Like,
interviews.
let me, because we're not like that. We're not like that. We're not attracted to minors.
Bro, come on, man. You know exactly what it is, dude. Okay?
No,
Are you a
we're
pedophile?
attracted
What?
to we're attracted to female our own age, dude.
Let this be known. Let this be known. I am not a.
So what are you? If you're here to meet up with a 13-year-old girl after sending
He hit it up like it was a catchphrase. Hey, not a pedophile.
A guy that is.
But we can't forward this to cops because
Yeah, absolutely.
most definitely this is not your first time either, right?
Right.
This is absolutely not
Whoa.
something you've done this.
This is actually. This actually is my first time.
You just said it wasn't your first time.
Yeah, that was
Now you say it.
that
Second time?
that was a bit rough on that one,
The
EDP.
first time was.
You've done this before, yes.
So
But I mean,
about
no,
15-year-old,
though.
Right?
Yeah.
So now, as far as the whole fantasy goes, you know what I mean? Let's be real, okay? You know what I mean?
Like,
What-
that's the part
what does
where
that
I'm
mean?
like,
Stop saying you know what I
genuinely
mean.
Don't know what you mean.
Sexual fantasies, that's what I mean.
Okay, so sexual, and I'm not calling you the P word, if you know what I'm talking.
Look at these
I'm
screenshots.
not calling you the P word.
Yeah, but you know what I
but
mean.
Do you fantasize about females under the age of 16? Yes or no? Sometimes.
Yes.
Okay.
What are you doing? Holy shit.
You fantasize about a 13-year-old, correct? Yes or no? Okay.
Holy
So,
shit.
if-
This is
right.
fucking rough.
Like,
Holy
second time.
shit.
I know, but you said earlier it was your first time. Like,
Okay.
Oh my god.
So we'll get to that. So you said, so 13 is the fantasy. Like for me, okay, 18. I think there's hot 18-year-olds. I wouldn't do anything with a 17-year-old.
Right.
But there's hot 17-year-olds.
Right.
But I don't go, yeah, when I see a 17-year-old. I'm just like, I can't do it. Like it's just not right.
What
But-
what are you
so
what are you going on about?
Makes you go,
Maybe about 7 months ago.
This is just an extremely long confession.
So-
He doesn't he's
so
not
what
fighting
did you
any of
do-
this.
So what was it that made you realize?
Holy
like,
shit.
For example, it's a bad analogy. You know, like if there's a hot 19-year-old into me, I'm like, oh, awesome. But if there's
What
like
are you talking?
I shouldn't say there's such thing as a hot 12-year-old, but if there's a 12-year-old into me, a 13-year-old.
Jesus Christ.
I would never. So what makes it okay to you for you to come here?
It doesn't make it okay. I'm
Right.
just being honest with you. The screenshots, of course I did. I mean,
but like, why would you send it to a 13-year-old? Like, and that proves that you were turned on by it.
Well, he said that a million
Turned on,
times.
like,
We
you
we
sent
know
a
that.
graphic photo.
Because you were hard when you were doing. Obviously, yes or no. So
you can't.
He said that millions of times. I read
What were
it.
you gonna do when you came here? To
I felt like I knew his cock pretty well by the end of those messages.
Honestly,
Chris Hansen did it very well. Chris Hansen was a beautiful weapon against pedophiles, but YouTubers are not. Like, the only reason this video even surfaced is because they were finally able to get full ads on it. If this video never got ads, this wouldn't have even come out. They would have just let it ride, or let it die. They're really just in it for, like, views to exploit bad people like EDP. This one seems staged. Okay, I can tell you this one is definitely not staged because his entire YouTube career has ended. This one is definitely not one of those fake ones. I can assure you of that. Like, even the interview it's not even an interview. The questions are, so you're a pedophile. Why? I also like hot girls, but if they're 17, it's like, they're hot, but, you know, I can't do that. It's like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, you should have just taken Chris Hansen's script. You know, not this. Did they call the cops? That's what I don't know. Like, I don't know if they even get law enforcement involved. If you take their word for it, they do. But I don't know. I don't know enough about them, so I couldn't tell you yes or no. I would hope so. Like, if they went through all this effort, did a full investigation, and didn't give it to authorities, they should also be at some level responsible for, like, endangering minors to allow someone like that to continue doing their shit. So I would think that it would go to law enforcement at some point.
But this isn't the first minor you've talked to before, correct?
right.
And there was more than one minor.
Holy
because
shit.
Last summer, I've had all these females reach out to me about you, And, you know, at first I was like, okay, attention. Honestly, I was. But then I see more and more and more, and I see you saying if anybody finds out about this, you're
Oh, what a good way of looking at that. Hey, I was manipulated and abused by this guy. Attention whore.
Ballpark number of how many minors you talked to. Like, you know, obviously it's been 5, so after 5, what would you say the number is? 6. 6 minors. Name them.
6?
let's see.
Holy
Sophie.
shit.
There's what was her name?
Is he just making this up? Because he's like
No.
actively making everything worse. I feel like he's just making up names.
Like, yo, what the dude? Like, real talk, man.
Obviously, you didn't go what the F because you're talking to a 13-year-old.
Right.
I believe you did know her age before, yes or no?
Wrong.
How old was the girl?
Which one?
This is unreal.
Talking about right now.
About the cameo.
The
I
cameo.
believe. Oh, you in the cameo one, right?
The one where you talked about
The boyfriend hit
asked
you up
her
for the
to
cameo.
Send you private.
Thanks the prime, Matt.
Probably 14, maybe 15. I'm not sure. But
So
that
that's
was.
number 2.
Seeing this really makes me appreciate Chris Hansen's work even
You
more.
do explain why you find her attractive, but I was just trying to...
I guess I never even stopped to consider how hard it must be to do something like this.
Girl number 3, girl number 4.
This is so long for no reason. They're saying nothing. They're not actually interviewing him.
Yourself in all these situations where you're in a
Okay, I'm just
bad
gonna skip a little
position
bit.
with
Do you guys mind if I
underage.
skip a little bit? This is
It's not a one-time
really
mistake
bad.
Like I thought it was last time.
You're soliciting child photos from this girl. That's another charge. You know that, right? Do you know how many charges you did here today? 3. More than that.
What, you counted them like Pokemon cards? Three charges, collecting them all?
2 counts of graphic photos. You asked for graphic photos from this girl, and you came here to engage in sexual activity with a 13-year-old.
Well, hold on. This is like an actual question. Like this is actually hitting him with something. Actually
They're not
something.
misdemeanors. They're not infractions.
Hold on, let me see where this goes.
They're felonies. So
Then you were also a little bit submissive to her, yes or no?
So well,
You were a little bit submissive to her, yes or no?
I was.
Do you like being? Do you have a fantasy? So you did admit you fantasize about 13-year-olds, yes or no? Okay. Do you also fantasize?
This guy's like the only guy that's actually
a little bit, yes or no?
trying to go somewhere with
So
this.
what about a 13-year-old?
and you have the audacity to say, "Please don't do this." Are you serious? We should be asking you, please don't do this to minors.
I
We should be
mean,
not doing this to minors.
he's like that guy, or the girl in Game of Thrones walking around with the bells. Shame. Shame.
Apartments?
He's calling a friend right now.
Yeah, he's at the apartments.
Well, yeah, he needs to get picked up.
Right now, Philip.
Just please come.
What are you panicking for? He's clearly calling a friend to get the fuck out of there. He's trying to get extracted from the mission.
Right by the jacket.
Okay, please come quick. He's calling. It looks like he's calling some backup. Okay, all right.
Oh, this guy sucks. Looks like he's calling some backup.
So be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. We have a ton of new viewers. It'll help us a ton. We flew.
I knew there
all
was
the way
going to be a
California from
subscriber
Houston,
call to
Texas get
action.
EDP. So be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Okay. So, that is fucking rough. That was a lot worse than I thought it'd be. EDP got fucking blasted. Yeah. The investigation, I think, was a very good thing done by very bad people. I did also see this one. The things this guy says are really bad. Like, racist, all kinds of horrible shit from this guy. And a lot of people have taken note of it, but not everyone. I don't think this guy should be gaining so many subs for this shit. He did a good thing, and he tried his best to make a lot of money off it and capitalize on it, constantly calling for subscribe actions, refusing to post the video till it has full ads. So, I think the guy sucks, but what he did was good. And when he's talking to this guy in particular, he keeps talking about how... So, I'll break it down. The guy here is suicidal. He gets caught and he starts talking about how he's suicidal, he's tried to kill himself a couple of times, and in response, this guy says, you can't kill yourself because you're Jewish. That'd be a hate crime. What are you, some kind of Jewish Nazi? And then he keeps saying that for like 5 minutes. Like, that's his whole joke. He has like a little stand-up routine about why this guy shouldn't kill himself because he's Jewish. It's horrible. I actually, before finishing this up, I do want to look them up one more time. They claim that they've done this before, and the chat has told me that they've had people arrested. I want to see that. Okay. Let me just immediately show you why I doubt that these guys actually care and are doing this for a good cause. Just going to their website. This is the first thing. Before you get anything else, you get payment plans. This is fucked up. So now where can I find out their track record? Have they actually gotten bad people off of the streets? Or do I have to pay to get that information? Holy shit. Making merch for hunting pedophiles. That's so weird. What does that merch even consist of? It's gonna be like one of those, like, cool dad shirts, like, I'm a veteran, I didn't fight in wars for you to look at my daughter, I'll put you in the ground. It's gonna be like one of those. I hunt pedophiles for views on YouTube. Or for money on YouTube, excuse me. At least Anxiety War, I do know the channel. At least they seem to actually want to do something good. And being successful is just, it came with the turf for them. Like Chris Hansen. Though I wouldn't really compare Anxiety War to Chris Hansen, but what I'm saying is at least they seem to be in it for a good reason. And there's also no information on the site except for buying things. I just wanted to know, do they have any proof that their investigations and this content they've made has actually gotten anyone arrested, put away, off the streets, anything? A lot of you said that they did, so I'm just wondering where you found that information. Who wouldn't want to walk around with a shirt that says Predator Poacher Hunters Club? That'd be pretty cool. Ah, so the first thing that comes up when I look this up, vigilante investigation creates issues for prosecuting cases. Talking about the predator poachers. Ah, wonderful. There's not a lot that the police can do to sanitize a bad investigation from a legal perspective. So they actively made it difficult to prosecute a pedophile. They're doing the opposite of helping. Yes, here's the main difference. Something I talk about. Things like To Catch a Predator is done in collaboration with the law enforcement. So that way it's done in the right way so that they can actually face legal ramifications. Okay, so here's a positive one. I don't know if this is the same group because the guy behind it asked to be uncredited and unnamed, which does not sound like the Predator Poacher guy at all. But a vigilante predator hunter got 2 people arrested, and one of the charges stuck. I don't think this is the same group though because the guy explicitly asked to not be named. Whereas this guy wants all of the limelight possible for as much money as possible. So I don't even know if that's the same guy. But if it is, something has really changed along the way. That was in March of last year. Yeah, the benefit here is, as opposed to the other ones, EDP was a public figure that was preying on children. So even if he doesn't get any legal charges, which I think the evidence is there that should work, even if he doesn't, he's now lost the platform where he was preying on kids. So that in and of itself is a good thing. I would normally agree with that, No Bud, but the thing is he was using his public platform to prey on people. So he should be publicly shown in this light, so that way people can avoid him. I think that is very much the right way of handling this case in particular to make it all public. I don't think anyone's sympathizing with the predator. It's really just a matter of the person who caught the predator is so unlikable that you can't help but mention it when talking about the story. I really don't think there's anyone on EDP's side. Everything he said and did is deplorable. But when you have the guy who caught the predator saying, like, quickly get here, he's calling for backup, you can't help but be like, holy shit, not only is the pedophile evil, but this guy's also evil. Like, you know what I mean? It's hard to just focus on one guy when they're both bad. It's time once again for me to hop into the swamp and talk about one of the grossest bits of drama YouTube has seen in quite some time, with the EDP445 situation. Last week I made a whole video going over everything, no stone left unturned. I was putting my cock into every briefcase full of information I could find, and now today, only a week later, a lot more has happened, and there's a lot of things that I'd like to follow up on and kind of update, because I streamed all of this, and if you missed the stream, you fucked up, big mistake, you're missing out. And so when I did that, it was still like a developing story, and now we're reaching like the conclusion here, the end of the manga. So I just wanted to go over this because it is a crazy story. The EDP445 situation is like going to a water park, but all of the water has been exchanged for sewage instead. It's fucking gross and yucky, but it's also kind of a wild ride. Before I get into it though, there's something I want to mention. It's unrelated to all this. Today I'm doing a big charity stream for a charity I'm very passionate about called Cure Rare Disease. It's going to be a massive art stream, so if you want to see more masterpieces like this being made for charity, please tune in. It's at twitch.tv/moistcritical. It'll be going on when this video goes up and will be happening for most of the night, so please feel free to stop by. The link's in the description. I'll just hit you real quick with a brief plot summary here. EDP445 was a massive YouTuber who got Chris Hansened by another group online called Predator Poachers. They pretended to be a 13-year-old girl who hit up EDP, and then the conversation got all sexual, and eventually they got him to try and meet with a 13-year-old girl, and that's when they really caught him in 4K. And there's a lot more to it, obviously. Like, there's even an entire saga here in the anime where EDP sent pictures of his shit, his actual shit in a toilet bowl. He sent pictures of that to the 13-year-old girl. Not that that's like super crucial in the story or anything. Like, you know, the FBI is not going to see those shit pictures and be like, well, we fucking got him now. You know, we weren't going to press charges till we saw this awful loaf of shit in the toilet. But it's something that I find to just be so weird and wacky that I can't help but mention it every time I hear or talk about the EDP story. Because I've never even heard of someone like sending shit pics. He also does send dick pics too. He plays by the meta, but the shit pics was truly something innovative. But anyway, that's basically just the story. YouTuber gets Chris Hansen and gets caught as a pedophile in a sting operation here by the Predator Poachers. And in most cases, you would expect the person behind this to be someone good looking to do something great for the community, like they did a great act catching a bad person. So you would expect most people would be patting them on the back, you know, patting them on the ass, telling them good game. But you can't really do that for the guy behind Predator Poachers. His name is Alex. And since this big bust, a lot has come out about Alex. It's a lot of awful fucking shit. Half of it I can't even begin to show on YouTube because it is really deplorable stuff. Basically what happened is the Spider-Man meme where both Spider-Men are pointing at each other, but in real life. It was like a cliche scene from an action movie right before the villain dies. He's like, I'm taking you with me. That's what happened. So they bust EDP, but then Alex gets busted as well. Tons of clips surfaced from Alex where he was being extremely racist, dropping the N-word, hard R, homophobia. He was being really creepy to a decoy, asking them to do stuff for him, claiming it was a predator asking. It was really unsettling, disturbing, gross shit. He'd also make jokes about having children in his basement that he fucks. Like, he's a weird, gross fucking guy. And since all of this came out and the story blew up, EDP445 has been banned off YouTube, and Chet Goldstein has been banned off YouTube. Chet Goldstein was the channel that Alex would use from Predator Poachers for all of the content, and it's unclear whether or not he was banned for all the racism that was on the channel, or really what he was banned for. If I had to spitball a guess, it would probably be all of the fucking racist shit that came out, and a lot of it was on the Chet Goldstein channel. That would be my guess. But I know when I mentioned this during the initial video, a lot of people were mad at me for saying just because the guy behind it's a bad guy doesn't discredit the investigation or the work. And I never said it did. You're just actual stupid brain to think that because this guy is bad, I am now all of a sudden defending EDP. Nobody's doing that. EDP's bad, and so are the people behind it. It was a good thing done by shitty people. It happens. You can still point out the shitty people while still acknowledging the good thing. I don't know why all of a sudden that was controversial to say. And it's still controversial. Like when people point out how awful of a person Chet Goldstein was, people often get met with angry comments saying, who cares? Doesn't matter. Being racist isn't as bad as being a pedophile. But I mean, they're both bad, so you can still point them out as bad. Like, you're just fucking dumb. Anyway, let me show you some of the clips, because people were also downplaying the severity of how awful this Chet Goldstein Alex guy was. So let me just show you a little bit. Highly censored, though, because this kind of shit is awful.
Dude, you can't say fucking live stream. It's bad. Dude, then we're gonna get offended and report us.
Oh, you're right.
What the fuck is wrong with you? This guy just said racist creep. Ugh.
Where are you, black?
Yeah. It's probably a fucking angry or something.
Oh, you're right.
I don't want to eat anything right now. What the fuck, racist for real?
I have a 3-year-old in my basement that's like lacking vitamin D. I provide her with plenty of D, just not the vitamin part.
Oh no, that's not good either.
Oh, really?
Not if it's a child.
Well, I was tired of being a virgin, so what the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah. Fucking Nick. Oh shit, I said that in front of 216 people.
Yeah, the guy fucking sucks ass. Like, he's not a good person. He did a good thing, but he's not a good person. You can point out the good thing and also point out that the person is bad. It's not one or the other. It can be both. EDP's bad. Chet Goldstein, Alex, Predator Poachers Alex is bad. Now, there is one thing I'd also like to set the record straight on. The guy that was with Alex when they busted EDP on camera, the guy that was wearing the mask, he is not associated with Alex. That is a completely different person named CC Unit. He is not, like, affiliated with Alex and his shit. He doesn't, like, sign off on it or anything from everything I've seen from the guy. He just happened to collaborate with them on this case, and unfortunately, like a porta potty being rocked back and forth, got caught in the crossfire of shit. Which is unfortunate because, I mean, he was probably a good guy and probably had good intentions. He's been doing this for a lot of years from what I can tell. Whereas Alex was just looking to capitalize and make money off it. He was pumping merch through it. When you went to the website, all it was payment plans for like Predator Poacher merch, and him saying he'll come to your city to do like a stand-up routine and put like a finger in his butthole, smell it, and laugh. Like, all Alex wanted was money out of it, and he got like 100,000 subs. He wouldn't even post the video till it got fully monetized. But CC Unit is not affiliated with that. He's completely separate and just happened to be there and collab with him on the day that they busted EDP. So I actually really do feel bad for that guy, assuming that he doesn't have a past like Alex. But from what I've seen, he does seem to just genuinely want to help make the community a better place. Now, don't pump those brakes yet, because this ride is still going. You can't get the fuck out of here. This is Mr. Bones' wild ride. This is a never-ending adventure here. The biggest development is absolutely the authorities getting involved and saying that they are going to look into the case. But they also acknowledge that it could be a bit difficult given that this is not a very well-conducted investigation by people that are less than professional, which is a remarkable understatement. Calling Alex less than professional is like calling a shotgun blast to the chest a minor boo-boo. It just doesn't really do it justice. It doesn't really capture the magnitude of the statement. Now, in the initial video, I showed you a couple different examples. One where the Predator Poachers made it much more difficult for authorities to move in and actually apprehend a pedophile. They said that the investigation was so bad that they couldn't really sanitize it and use it, and it just made it a lot harder for them to actually get charges against the Predator. So we've seen examples where the vigilante Predator hunters are really counterproductive to getting a pedophile behind bars, but then in the same video I also showed you an example where they were successful and helpful in getting a predator put away for at least a small length of time. So there's really no way to know where this is going to fall, if it's going to be like this investigation just fucked the case in the ass and now all of a sudden EDP isn't going to face any charges, or if this was actually helpful to the case. Overall, like I said in the last video, I think them going public with it isn't inherently a bad thing. Even if they were just trying to use this as like a spectacle for views and money, bringing it to the public eye was probably the right call regardless, because he was a public figure with a public platform using that platform to prey on kids. So coming public and getting that platform removed from him absolutely was the right call to combating this case in particular. But whether or not that's going to make it harder for authorities to actually put him in jail is what we're going to have to wait to find out. All I know for sure is there are no heroes in this story, but there was a good act done by a bad person, And what a fucking crazy week on YouTube it's been from all this shit. Actually, probably one of the, like, wildest things I've seen on the platform. And yeah, I just wanted to do a little follow-up to it. I don't know if we'll hear any more about EDP and all this, because I imagine from this point forward, it's going to be between him and the authorities. So it probably won't be any more, like, public drama stuff on EDP, but who knows. Anyway, just wanted to follow this up, and yeah, that's about it. See ya. What better way to kick off the new year like looking backwards to the magical year of 2021? Let's take you back to the past to talk about a man who loved ass and cupcakes. I'm talking about EDP445. For those that don't remember, EDP445 was a massive YouTuber who in early 2021 got caught by a group of predator hunters for trying to have sex with a child. He got Chris Hansened and then recorded at the scene of the crime, where he defended himself by saying he wasn't actually there to fuck a child, he was just there for some cupcakes. And that kind of became his entire legacy. He's like the cupcake demon. Kind of like how the boogeyman was invented to scare kids into eating their vegetables. EDP is that cryptid, but for cupcakes. Like, hey, you better finish that cupcake. Your grandmother worked hard on it. If you don't, EDP's gonna climb through your window tonight and talk to you about the Eagles or some shit. So his whole thing now is he's been disgraced and banned everywhere on the internet. And I can't even begin to tell you the entire lore. This was probably one of the wildest stories I've ever actually seen in real time on YouTube. It just had so many twists and turns. There was a fucking crazy chapter in this whole thing where EDP sent a picture of his poop in a toilet to the kid. He like said, I ate a greasy pizza and took a fat shit, and then dropped the picture of his shit in the toilet bowl to them. It was a nutty ride. But anyway, since then, it's been radio silence for about 8 months. No one's really known what's happened to him. There's been tons of rumors, of course, that would start like he's in jail, or, you know, he's running for governor now, or he went to space and now he's a space pedophile, you know, just all kinds of things with no evidence. And last night on stream, chat made me aware of a new video that had an update with accurate information and a breakdown of the EDP story and where he is today. So I watched it last night on stream. That's twitch.tv/moistcritical. I stream every day. I'd love to see you there. I'll put the link in the description. Just please come on, swing by. I'm probably streaming right now. So I'll go ahead and play that for you now, and then I'm going to go over a bit more afterwards because I've done a little more research this morning on the situation. But just be aware that in the clips here, last night was New Year's, so there's a lot of fireworks going off in the background, so that's that banging that you keep hearing. Chat kept thinking I was kicking my desk, which confuses me because it's not like my desk is made out of nitroglycerin. It's not going to make like that kind of massive bang. So yeah, just a quick heads up there. The EDP445 video we're watching comes from YouTuber SunnyV2, who did a great job of researching the topic and getting all of the information out there. Okay, let's check on the EDP situation. Apparently he got arrested and went to jail, but this would be the first I've heard of that. So, let's see.
EDP445 has been fired from 3 different jobs over the last couple of weeks as a result of people exposing his employment to TikTok.
What? Wait, really? Hold on, I didn't get a chance to read that Reddit thread. Did he actually try... Did he actually try and work at Chuck E. Cheese? There's no chance. Again, for those that don't know, EDP was the YouTuber who got exposed for being a pedophile or whatever, talking to kids and shit. He's most known for like the fist bump he tried to get from the predator catchers, as well as saying he was just there for a cupcake, even though there's like tons and tons of DMs of him confirming he was going to go there to try and fuck a kid. And then apparently now he's been fired 3 times, and one of the places was Chuck E. Cheese. I genuinely don't believe that.
From a few different properties, and he's now living out of a suitcase in a couple of unconventional crappy locations.
He had like 3 million subs. How is he out of money?
Update in the EDP445 tragedy is that
did he give it all to a 13-year-old or something?
One of his former YouTube 445 was caught in 4K on his way to pick up a cupcake. The topic was covered by almost everyone in the commentary community.
I'm sure by now many of you let's go! The EDP445 situation.
Creators who supported him in the past, such as Some Ordinary Gamers, would
let's go! We did that on stream.
needs to be arrested immediately.
That was a wild
Why
stream.
has EDP been dropping hard? Because EDP is an individual that actually got Chris Hansen.
And after it was revealed of his banning, EDP was exactly 30 years old.
I like how it's being called the
Content since
cupcake event.
2010 when he was 19 years old. So the 179 million views deleted in the process
Whew.
meant that his entire portfolio of work completed in his 20s, 10 plus years worth of labor, was wiped out quite literally overnight. One mistake was all it took for YouTube to decide that EDP445...
It wasn't one mistake though, right? As he mentioned, there was a history of mistakes, but this was the biggest. Charlie from 24 Hours in the Future, I decided to look into the other cases because, as mentioned in the video, there was a lot of previous allegations even before this one of EDP engaging with minors in inappropriate manner. So I looked into all of those, and for about a full year, a lot of evidence was surfacing that EDP kept flirting with and trying to hook up with underage fans. But somehow for all of 2020, it all kind of flew under the radar and wasn't made a big deal. And it's not because he did a good job of defending himself, like his defense wasn't bulletproof or anything, he's no Saul Goodman. When it was brought to light a few times during live streams, all he said was, a bunch of no-life, no-pussy-getting motherfuckers kept pretending to be girls and my dumb ass fell for it. And that's it. Like, that's how he brushed it off. He basically just confirmed, like, yep, I've been talking to people I believed were underage girls. And then that was it. That's where it stopped. So I'm surprised it wasn't a bigger deal before this investigation, but this was definitely the most thorough with the most evidence and actually going there in person and catching him in 4K. But I'm just shocked that it took this long with all of these allegations out there. So, as mentioned in the video, it was not just this one mistake. He had an entire history of doing this kind of shit.
Vimeo account was deleted, another income stream had gone up in smoke. EDP445 then attempted to switch to Facebook. However, after gaining 6,000 followers...
Yeah, so that was real? That was really his
it was
page?
the same story over on Instagram.
Someone told us... Well, not someone. A bunch of people told us he made a Facebook page after the cupcake event. And I didn't believe it, because when you went to the Facebook page, like, one of the only things there was, like... what was it again? It was... Oh, God damn it. We watched the video. It was some, like, really goofy video. I think it was even just talking about football or something, and then he casually mentioned he wasn't a pedophile while talking about football. He's like, yeah, the Eagles are going to go all the way this year, not a pedophile. Yeah, I just really have a whole lot of faith in the Eagles, where they're going to fly. I thought for sure that was, like, a joke Facebook page, but I guess it's real? Yeah, no, that was after Cupcake event. So, on the EDP timeline, there's BC, which is before Cupcake, and then AC after Cupcake. And this was AC with the Facebook page. It really seemed fake, but I guess not.
He planned on making his own website to which he would continue posting.
That was real too?
EDP445 announced over on Facebook that he will be making his grand return to the internet with his own website to return to his old video.
Man, EDP445.com. It's coming soon. Been about like a week, maybe 2
No
weeks
fucking way. That was
445.
Again. So we've been in this lore for a minute, playing in the pig pen, with all this exposition here, in real time. The website, I also was told, was previous clips from older videos where he mentioned wanting to start a website. This was not after the Cupcake tragedy, but I guess that was inaccurate. So he really, after getting banned everywhere, tried to make the EDP website. I don't know what the fuck would be on there besides, like, I don't know, baking recipes or some shit and then talking about the Eagles. But, man, my God. I guess all of that was real, and I was making fun of people who told me about it, saying, like, you're too gullible. No, I'm the idiot. Oh, yeah, I guess he could post shit pictures on his website, too, which is cool. Kind of like a new modern-day Rate My Poo, if anyone remembers that from the early internet. Rate My Poo was kind of lit. It was just this community project where a bunch of people would take pictures of their shit in the toilet bowl, and then you'd have a star system and give it a 1 out of 10. And then you'd get to the next piece of poop. It was pretty cool. That was big back in the Gears of War day. People would often, like, disguise the Rate My Poo link as something else and send it to people in the community to get them to rate shit pics.
In spite of how much of a scumbag EDP445 truly was, you have to give him credit for sheer determination, because he then began to upload videos on another third-party website called 3Speed TV, where his account would be met with the same fate. It was banned.
What is
He
3Speed?
wrote, for some reason, my channel was deleted. I don't have a clue what's going on. I didn't violate any guideline. Can you please tell me what's going on? EDP.
That just sounds like some kind of student server. Like a university project.
From each and every Fives Lift profile.
Bro went from wanting cupcakes to driving for Lyft.
And his position.
Goddamn, man. Why? Like, even after all of this, he is still taking these pictures. This looks like a predator. Why? Just take a normal fucking picture.
Driving for Lyft.
And his position as a driver would subsequently be removed by the company. The situation would promote Reddit discussion, with one post stating EDP as a Lyft driver, how the mighty have fallen, which received commenting to a very basic unconfirmed source. EDP also apparently applied at Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, so that is definitely a lie.
Didn't seem to get the position. EDP445 no
so that was
longer had
definitely
the
a fucking
ability to
lie.
make money online or in. The strange part about this is that when you try and search the court register from the Reddit post by typing in his name, Bryant Moreland, it now states that there are no results found, possibly indicating that EDP445's name change has been successful and he's no longer
oh
known
my
as
god.
Bryant Moreland.
As you can see,
He could be anywhere now.
Moreland Bryant. Submit. No results.
He could be anyone.
The problem with this, as outlined by the EDP445 subreddit,
Imagine he
is
just
that
changed
it's
his
not
name
exactly
to,
hard
like,
spot. This idiot
Borland
thinks this will
Myrant.
fix anything LeMayo. He will be spotted everywhere no matter
Constant harassment the property owner has been getting.
Since then, EDP has been living out of a suitcase at various hotels. However, even then, his detractors have been going around trying to get him kicked out of wherever he happens to
How are
stay.
they finding him?
Everyone in here.
What?
I will be more than happy to let them know. Thank you very much.
It's like when Shia LaBeouf put a flag in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere, and people on 4chan found it using star constellations and airplane routes. They're finding EDP in his suitcase across the country. A global game of Where's Waldo. They're passing out flyers and shit. Oh my god.
Less than a month ago, on the 3rd of December 2021, he'd uploaded a video titled, Is EDP445 in Jail? In this video, Felipe explained that while out having dinner, he'd get a call from a private number, stating that it was EDP445, who was being held at the Henderson, Nevada Detention Center.
So the third time I picked up, I was like, hello? And
What?
it said, yes, because I was like, I was just curious to see, like, holy shit, like, he got arrested, like, wow,
The issue is, the only evidence that he's able to provide is 4 no-caller ID calls on his iPhone, which isn't exactly rock-solid evidence to say the least, and Felipe's
Give me some
character is
water, guy.
suspect at best. He only gets views when he talks about EDP445, and without EDP on the internet to defend himself, anyone can say anything. Additionally,
True.
if EDP did
Good
successfully change where Henderson is, Kern County, which is where Bakersfield is, and Manatee County, which is where Bradenton, Florida is, which said that he was connected to online, no Bryant Moreland is in any of those prisons. In the end, it doesn't really...
That was pretty fucking interesting. Jesus. Yeah, I think there's a 0% chance he's in jail for what it's worth. Almost every single time when there's like a vigilante predator hunter that exposes a predator, the law enforcement throws out the case pretty much on the spot. The shit very rarely leads to like incarceration for the people that they catch. It's only in really rare circumstances. Like, even that PlayStation guy that got fired from PlayStation for being outed, he's not arrested or anything. But, I mean, even still, it worked really well here. EDP lost every platform that he could use to prey on children, so overall, net positive. Even if he's not in jail, like the video mentioned at the end, his life is kind of like a perpetual fucking jail, because people are still hunting him, I suppose. Still locating him. So, where does that put us in the Eat the Pussy 445 universe? Where is he now? What's true and what's false? From everything I've been able to gather online, what's true is he has not been able to hold a job because people keep making the companies aware of his past, so they let him go. He has been evicted from the places he's tried to stay. He is struggling with money, which absolutely blows my mind, because at 2 million subs, and the amount of money that he'd be making at 2 million subs, he should have been set for life, so he must have a problem with spending money. Even though a lot of his content would get demonetized, he'd still have plenty, because demonetized content still makes money, and it's not negligible amounts of money. So those are all true. What is also true is he attempted to change his name, but what's unknown is whether or not that was successful. It seems like his name change has been successful, however, can't confirm nor deny that. And what also seems to be false is the claim that he's in jail. There's no real evidence to say that he's in jail, it just sounds made up like the Tooth Fairy or some shit. The only source that says that is that YouTuber, and as mentioned in the video, he has incentive to like make EDP content and say things like that because it gets him views, so it's not the most reliable, and he didn't provide very good evidence or proof for it. It is also true he's been banned on every platform the internet has ever had, it seems. He's tried everywhere, so he's banned on like Facebook, Instagram, 3Speak, Cameo, fucking any website you could possibly imagine he's banned from. Club Penguin, Wizard 101, Discord probably, I mean, God only knows. He's tried everywhere in order to try and get back on the internet, and it hasn't worked at all. Every platform immediately gets rid of him. So yeah, that's the full update on the Eat the Pussy 445 story. I just wanted to revisit this since this video was recently posted, and it's a story we followed from the very get-go. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah. The title's not clickbait. EDP445, the world's biggest cupcake enthusiast, is back. I'm sure you don't need a lore update on who this is. I think his story's more well known than the Bible at this point, but I'll just give you a brief Cliff Notes version anyway. Eat Dat Pussy 445 was a massive YouTuber and last year was outed as a predator and was caught red-handed on his way to meet with a child, or what he thought was a child. And just like the Hamburglar, he got busted and was confronted full-blown Chris Hansen style. And when they brought this to him, like, why are you going to meet this child, huh? You know, they knew he was going to meet this child for relations because they had already set it up, just like in To Catch a Predator. And his defense was, no, I wasn't gonna do anything sexual with the kid. I was just here for a cupcake. And then he extended his hand for a fist bump, which was declined. So he's sitting there all fucking sad with his fist out like he just threw down in rock, paper, scissors. And ever since then, he got banned off pretty much every platform on the internet. He literally got Thanos snapped off of the cyberspace, and his name lives in infamy, being synonymous with Predator. However, EDP did not go quietly into the night. He's like the boogeyman who just keeps trying to find his way back online to reclaim what he once had. Before he started sending shit pictures to children, literal pictures of his poop in a toilet to a kid, and then trying to have sexual relations with them. He's trying to once again get back to that glory. Now in the last update, we had an incredible YouTuber named SunnyV2 bring us all of the updated New Testament of the EDP Bible, telling us where he's at and what he's doing and how things have been going wrong for him. And to quickly summarize on the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, EDP has tried to hold down another job as like a Lyft driver or Uber Eats, but people found him and recognized him, started clowning on him, and eventually his past made it to the higher-ups at the Lyft and Uber Eats and was fired for it. He's also been extremely irresponsible with his money, so he's been living out of a suitcase at various motels, and people have still found him there and have gotten him kicked out of those motels. I don't know how the fuck they keep finding him. They're like the NSA, and they're tracking EDP at all times. It's like that NORAD Santa tracker, but they're tracking EDP. Who's more closely related to Krampus because Krampus would steal kids. Kind of like EDP was trying to do with cupcakes and then having relations with kids. The point is, somehow people keep finding him every time he's going somewhere in the real world or doing something else. And throughout this entire year, he's been going to every platform on the internet trying to reignite an online career. So he's gone to super obscure sites that have live streaming or like video sharing capabilities. Dude would enter Club Penguin as a content creator if it had like live sharing of videos features. He is using everything in acts of desperation to have an online presence again because that's what he was used to. That's where he made all of his money. Before then, he was like a security guard, but now it doesn't seem like he can hold down a job because of everything that came to light about him. It wasn't just this one instance where he was directly busted for being a predator. He had had at least somewhat of a history of this kind of behavior in other circumstances with underage people. So it was a long time coming, and now as a result, he's having a very hard time in the real world and obviously can't really make it back online. However, over the last couple weeks, he has been able to stay unbanned on Instagram. He's had an account for quite some time now that hasn't been banned, whereas all his other ones did. And he started a video sharing live streaming career on something called Bigo, which I don't know anything about. I've never heard of it before, but like I said, this man will literally use anything that has video sharing live streaming capabilities. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets banned on Bigo, he just goes to like the Xbox 360 arcade to play Uno and use like the Xbox Connect webcam to just do live streaming to people playing Uno around on his table. It's fucking baffling. But he hasn't been banned on there, and he's been doing live streams and trying to make money that way. But the live streams are basically him just getting dunked on by the people that still follow him. He's like that clown at the carnival where you pay money to throw a ball to dunk him in some water. So that's where he's like making his living, I think.
OMG, EDP, I'm such a big fan of you. Like, I'm being so serious.
Thank you.
How's life been? Like, why did you come to Big O?
You said what?
Why did you come to Big O?
What the fuck is Big O?
This app.
Oh, you mean Bigo? Oh.
Yeah.
I know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah. Like, you can find some bad bitches on here too, bro. You can find some bad bitches.
Listen, man. I'm cool on that bullshit.
So you don't want bitches, but you want kids?
Block him. He's gone. Get him out.
You fat nasty big ass bitch. Just don't make nasty ass the fuck up. Bitch, you peanut head ass bitch. Bitch, you like touching on little kids. Bitch, you want a cupcake? Bitch, you want a cupcake face nasty big ass bitch. You fat nasty big ass bitch. You finna touch me next? You finna touch me? You finna touch me, you fat nasty big ass bitch? Bitch, you bald head ass bitch. You peanut head ass bitch.
Needless to say, the stream was overwhelmingly successful. The man's been to so many obscure apps and services he couldn't even remember which one he was currently on. His whole, from what I understand, his whole streaming career now is he brings people on and they just insult him. Like, it's like he is literally letting people line up to throw tomatoes at him, you know, as a public humiliation thing, but they have to pay for those tomatoes, so he makes a little bit off of that. That's, at least from what I understand, the whole business model now is just being this human punching bag for people to make fun of publicly. It's so fucking weird. He of course ignores everything that involves the entire cupcake incident, and when it's brought up, he just immediately goes for the block and ban approach, even though he has to know it's coming. So the whole, like, pretending it doesn't exist thing is super useless. It doesn't do anything. So I don't know why he keeps trying it. And his Instagram page is super sad. This is sadder than the ending to Marley and Me. It's just like a high school girl's Facebook status. Like, look at his description. Push through and overcome regardless of circumstance. Bro, you're not some victim of circumstance where you were an innocent guy dealt a bad hand or something. You were the criminal. You went out of your way to flirt and have sexual conversations, attempt to have sexual relations with people you believed to be children. You sent poopy pictures to a girl you thought was like 13. An actual photograph of your fucking turd in a toilet. You said you ate like a greasy pizza and took a fat shit and then proved it by sending this kid a picture of the poop. Like, imagine doing that and then still writing a Facebook status like, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. It's so unbelievably goofy. And then his actual profile pic here, you know, the Iron Man filter or whatever this is like some kind of, you know, Tony Stark identifying cupcakes, location, targeted. Like, I don't understand at all what the whole vibe of this Instagram page is. It's just random memes, a couple of rants about football, and then he'll say or post some shit like this where he says he doesn't have enough money to afford anything besides hamburger meat, but that's fine, which is just an outright lie because the majority of the pictures on this Instagram page are pictures of him eating food or food that he is eating. And then in his Bigo live streams, he is always snacking on something. It's so fucking weird. His story is like in Harry Potter, when Voldemort tried to kill Harry, but the Avada Kedavra spell that he cast when Harry was a baby backfired and blasted him instead, reducing him to this weird amorphous blob that attaches itself to the back of some dude's head in the Sorcerer's Stone and desperately trying to get his full body back. That's EDP. He's this hemorrhoid that keeps attaching itself to the most obscure video sharing services imaginable, desperately trying to return to full form. It makes no fucking sense why he doesn't just move on from the internet. It's clearly not going to work. Like, I've said this before, but the best thing for EDP and for children is if EDP just voluntarily goes to jail at this point. You know, like, at least then people wouldn't be tracking him down anymore out in the wild like it's a fucking Pokemon hunt. He'd be able to get meals because apparently he's been struggling with finding food, which I still think is an outright lie since every instance of EDP being spotted has him with food, like snacking on livestream or his Instagram showcasing a bunch of food that I imagine he's eating. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong and that's just like emergency food that he had stored in an underground bunker that he's tapping into and it's running out of supply. But again, I really think, unironically, the best thing EDP can do for himself and for the safety of cupcakes and kids everywhere is just to go to jail himself. Spend some years in there, he'd probably lose weight by the end of it, grow out a beard, people wouldn't recognize you, then you could find another job somewhere and just stay there and not go back to the internet. He was on YouTube for the better part of like 10 years or something, so he was obviously very used to it and accustomed to it. And when it was gone, he hasn't known what to do since. The whole fucking situation is so entirely goofy, and I just wanted to give yet another update to it because it is constantly evolving somehow. It's fucking baffling, but yeah, anyway, that's about it. See ya. It's only been a couple days since I made the video talking about how EDP445's trying to make a comeback online with his Instagram account and live streaming on every obscure video sharing service imaginable. I swear to God, this guy would start streaming on AIM Instant Messenger if he could. I wouldn't be surprised if he hopped on as a full-time Omegle streamer and just tried to haggle people for money to tell them why the Eagles will win the Super Bowl and also send them pictures of his poop in his toilet. He is finding every possible means of broadcasting himself online in order to try and reclaim his former glory pre-cupcake incident. I'll briefly speedrun his lore again. I think most people already know. More people know about the EDP445 story than Hamlet, but just in case, he was busted last year in a Chris Hansen-style operation where he was fully caught trying to have sexual relations with someone he believed to be a child, and he tried to defend himself by saying, no, look, you got it wrong, you stupid assholes. Actually, I was just here for a cupcake. Which is how the whole cupcake meme started, but this was just one in many documented cases of EDP having inappropriate conversations with people he believed to be underage. So as a result, he was banned off pretty much every major platform and hadn't been seen for about 8 months. Occasionally there were theories and possible sightings of EDP445 out in the online cyberspace wild, but it was kind of like pictures of the Loch Ness Monster. People didn't really believe it until it was confirmed recently that he was running an Instagram account and trying to live stream again, and then just yesterday, or 2 days ago now, he fully made his return, WWE style, fucking pyrotechnics going off. He's on TikTok, baby, and he is absolutely exploding on the platform. He's got a video with over 4.4 million views. He's gathered over like 150,000 followers in literally just like less than 48 hours. He's been going viral there. I keep seeing the comment of when the world didn't need him most, he came back, and that's super true. But EDP445 is like a natural disaster. For as long as cupcakes exist in this dimension, EDP445 will also exist too. On TikTok, he's getting tons of support from people welcoming him back with open arms and open asses. They couldn't be more excited. They're just wishing him the best and super happy that he finally returned to take his crown back, king. And it's really sad, but also not surprising, because TikTok has established itself as a platform where child abuse isn't even taken seriously. There's been so many creators on TikTok that have literally been outed for some terrible things, including being predators, including, in certain cases, sexual abuse, and they still have very popular platforms that are still thriving. Because TikTok and the TikTok community don't take it seriously. And I think that's mainly because most of them are children themselves. So they're completely naive, and they don't take things like what EDP did or tried to do as serious as they should, which is really fucking awful. EDP was outed for some terrible things, and all of them regarding his behavior with people he believed were underage. So now he's gone to a platform that is primarily consisting of underage audience. That is a recipe for disaster. You have taken a man who would be banned from the majority of elementary schools within like a 5-mile radius, and now you're letting him run for class president of that elementary school because it's on TikTok now. Probably not like the best comparison, but what I'm saying is he is now very popular on a platform that is mainly consisting of younger audience. I'm sure you can see why that's a bit of a problem. Now, EDP, mainly the content he's made on TikTok is Super Bowl related because it had the most virality to it, since the Super Bowl is always highly watched and on TikTok highly discussed. So his channel grew a lot then. And he also made a video about me, which I'll show you quickly. I had to mute the audio because of DMCA issues, but you're really not missing much here. Basically, the words here pretty much describe what's going on. He's since deleted this TikTok, and I think the reason is because he's done everything he can to avoid ever mentioning the cupcake incident. He treats it like Voldemort's name. It just never gets said by him. Anytime it's brought up, the person is banned. It just does everything he can to pretend that it doesn't exist, hoping that he can just write out the controversy and people will forget or stop bringing it up. But this is his legacy. This is what he's known for. He is the cupcake guy. And he knows this, which is why he posted a video trying to be self-aware like, cupcakes, no, I understand what's going on. But that doesn't work with that level of self-awareness when what you're calling attention to is the fact that people know that you tried to have sexual relations with a kid. Like, that's the self-awareness isn't like a, oh, haha, he gets it, okay, now we can forgive him. It's not like when Darman became self-aware that a lot of the stuff that happens in his videos is goofy and people usually make jokes about it, and he became self-aware and became in on the joke, and that's like, oh, good for Darman, he has a level of self-awareness, I have more respect for that now. It doesn't work in EDP's case because when he calls attention to the cupcake thing, he's acknowledging that he knows he is a sexual predator, and that people know that he is a sexual predator. So the self-awareness doesn't help people have more respect for you. You're still disgusting, and what you did is pretty unforgivable, which is why no community's been welcoming him back onto the platforms, except for TikTok, because it is a platform that is notorious for not giving a shit about the safety of the kids on there. And make no mistake, a lot of the user base is kids, but they don't take it seriously there. There's been so many cases of horrible shit happening on TikTok, and the people that were behind it still doing just fine to this day. So I'm not surprised that EDP found TikTok as a place to call home, and he'll probably continue to do well on that platform, which is extremely sad to say. It really is, but it's just the truth of it. There's a good chance that on TikTok, EDP will thrive, and he'll be able to come back to form, and he'll be able to monetize again, and it's the fucking sad reality of it, because TikTok has a track record of not taking things like what EDP did seriously. And you can see it in his comment section. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of people that are writing on EDP's dick right now, like, yep, this is the good stuff. Finally, EDP's back. Thank you, TikTok. EDP, let's go, EDP for life. You can see it. And it'll probably continue. So obviously, a lot of people, myself included, have a big problem with EDP being back in general, but even more specifically on TikTok, since it's the platform that gives him the most access to kids, which are potential victims to EDP. He has shown multiple times, not just with the apocalyptic cupcake incident, but he has shown prior to that that he will talk to children and engage in very inappropriate behavior and conversations with people that he believes to be underage. So now that he's on a platform that's primarily in that demographic, there's obviously a huge conflict here. So yeah, just wanted to give a whole update on this situation. A lot of people brought this to my attention and definitely thought it was something that needed to be talked about. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Alright, fine. I'll finally address the cupcake in the room. Yes, I know EDP is back on YouTube. It's been about like a week and a half since he rose from the ashes like a phoenix and made a YouTube account again. And since then, people have been emailing me and asking me during streams constantly why I haven't talked about it, why am I not bringing it up. And there's a great reason for that, and it's a pretty simple one. It's because it's not going to last long. This is like my 5th time talking about EDP, so the recap for the last episodes of Dragon Ball Z are going to be really brief this time around. EDP, Eat the Pussy 445, used to be a massive YouTuber, and then he was caught in a Chris Hansen-style sting operation that brought to light messages that he sent to someone he believed to be an underage girl, and then also going out of his way to meet them, which led to the infamous cupcake excuse where he said he wasn't there to meet a child, he was there to get a cupcake. And he also sent pictures of his poop in a toilet bowl to the kid. That part's never as important to the story as the other stuff, but I always like to mention it because I find the shit pics to just be truly innovative. So since that incident, he got banned from YouTube and every other platform that he's applied to, which is pretty much every website on the internet that allows you to sign up with a fucking email address, because he has not only an insatiable appetite for cupcakes, but also internet points. He desperately wants to become a content creator again, so he's tried streaming and posting videos to every obscure platform known to man. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to launch his own podcast exclusively through Team Fortress 2's voice chat, but no matter how small or unknown the platform is, they always ban him because of his past. But he does always try and come back, like most recently with the YouTube account. He did make a new YouTube account to post videos where he's talking about the Eagles, per usual, and he wasn't banned immediately, so people started panicking. People for some reason thought that YouTube was just going to let this fly under the radar, which they haven't done any time in the past here, but this time was different. They thought like maybe EDP finally weaseled his way back onto the platform, like there was a handshake between Susan and EDP, like you're forgiven, you're welcome back. Which was obviously never going to be the case. He may not have been banned instantly, but he was going to get banned soon enough. In fact, he is banned currently as of me making this video, and the only evidence I have that he ever even came back is Mudahar's video on it, where he talked about EDP coming back, as well as some other YouTubers, but I think Mudahar had the best video covering the subject. This is the only thing left of his newest channel. It took like a week, I think. A week and some change, maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but it wasn't long. So the reason I didn't talk about it is just because there was no chance this was going to be him coming back to the platform in a big way or anything like that. So what's the point in really like addressing it or driving attention to him? It's just a nothing burger. It's not like his channel was really growing or anything. The only people there were the people that actively follow him to make fun of him every time he tries to come back. And they always alert the platform that he's there. So the proper channels were already notified. It was just a matter of time. And I'm confident in the week that it took YouTube to act, he didn't get any new victims to prey upon. This was just another attempt from EDP to try and post somewhere. It's just kind of like an STD on the internet. He's like a case of herpes that'll flare up every now and then with a new account, but then it goes away after a pretty short amount of time. So again, I haven't been talking about it because I didn't think this would be a problem that would last very long. I thought it would be something that takes care of itself, which it was. There's never going to be a future where EDP actually comes back to the internet. It's just not going to happen. Also, I guess this is just as kind of like a little PSA thing. Not every EDP account that pops up is actually him. This happens with pretty much every banned person anywhere. There's going to be a ton of fake accounts that are reposting content as like new things to make people believe that it's that person that came back. It's just a troll account most of the time. It's already happened with a lot of EDP accounts. Apparently this one really was him though, and it seems like it actually was him. But for the most part, a lot of them are just memes, that people just fucking around. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah, it's that time again, that special time of year where EDP tries to make a comeback and find a platform that doesn't immediately ban him for what he's done in his past. It's become an annual tradition now on the internet. EDP's kind of like this reoccurring villain online, kind of like the box ghost from Danny Phantom who shows up in a few episodes here and there and just gets laughed at. That's EDP. Once upon a time, EDP445 was an extremely successful YouTuber with over 2 million subscribers, but then got caught in a pedophile sting operation where he was sexually communicating with someone he believed to be a child, and even went to a physical location to try and meet that child, which led to the infamous piece of internet history where EDP tried to squeak his way out of a sticky situation when he was caught on camera at the physical location that they arranged for him to meet what he believed to be a child. He came up with the genius idea of claiming he was not there to meet a child, but was actually just there for a cupcake. It was an iconic moment that will go down in internet lore, etched into the tablets of time, and that's become his legacy. He was then banned off of YouTube, and every now and then tries to come back to hope that the heat's cooled down enough where he can make yet again a thriving career online. This is like the 5th video I've made about the EDP Saga. It's got seasons to it. It's like the longest running series on my channel next to the Moist Meter. It's just wild how often he does these things and the way that he goes about them. But this time it's a little different, and I wasn't even going to make a video talking about it because it's become such a standard normal thing for EDP to try and crawl his way back. It's like that scene in Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull where he locks himself in that refrigerator as the nuclear bomb goes off and then he just gets out and walks away. That's EDP. Like, he comes out, the bomb goes off, where it's like, wait, EDP's back. The guy that did all that pedophile shit? And then he gets banned, he puts himself in the refrigerator, dodging all the nukes, and then comes back another time to try again on another platform. It's been like that for 2 years. He has streamed, he's made content on every platform imaginable. He's probably made a couple videos at your local university's goddamn book club. Like, he is going everywhere to try and make money again online, and it hasn't worked until over the last month on TikTok. Over the last month on TikTok, he made yet another account, and this time he hasn't been banned. In fact, he has over 730,000 followers right now and actively live streams on there to great success. But unfortunately, it seems like this success may have brought out the kitty diddling demon from within EDP once more. He has been accused of grooming a minor. Who could have seen that coming, if it's true? You know, shocker. This guy has a history with evidence of him talking sexually to underage fans of his from back in the day, being very inappropriate with them, and then in the most recent one that cost him his whole career, literally saying sexual things about what he'd want to do to someone that he believed was a child. Having these sexually charged conversations, sending a picture of his cock, sending a picture of his poop in a toilet bowl, the actual pioneer of shit pics. Like, who could have possibly imagined that on a platform predominantly used by children, he would then once again potentially communicate with children?
You knew what he looked like, right?
Yeah. I was just really trolling him. Like, in the group chat, like, when we made that group chat, we were literally just trolling him. And, like, he just took it too damn far. Like, he started, like, personally, like, DMing me. And, like, saying
He fell for it again.
Fly me out, and he's gonna like nut in me and shit.
So on here it says, "Don't let anyone ever tell you you aren't beautiful, not even me. You deserve the best. Trust me, if I was in Louisiana, it'd be a beat down your door, smothering you with flowers and hugs. You just better prepare yourself because I'm showering you on the entire world."
That's the corniest shit ever.
This is part of a larger interview from this YouTube channel, Master at Work. And I'll be honest, I've finished watching it, but I'm still a little confused on the specifics of exactly what happened here. The best I can piece together is the girl in the interview was trolling EDP. They had like a group chat together, and while she was underage, was talking to EDP, but then she turned of age, she turned 18, and then EDP got more sexual with their conversations or something like that. I'm not entirely sure on the exact timeline of everything that happened or anything, but overall, it still seems like a very weird situation, at the very least. Assuming, of course, it's all true. There's not 100% irrefutable evidence at the moment here, and I'm sure EDP will latch onto that, claiming that it's all just fake haters trying to bring him down. Because even to this day, he doesn't really acknowledge what happened and what cost him his career. Though on TikTok, he did make a video taking a slow bite of a cupcake, which is the closest he's come to talking about it, and it's really weird that he still leans in to the pedophile stuff. Like, he knows the cupcake is associated with him trying to go to the physical location where he was talking about having sex with someone he believed was a kid, and yet he will openly eat a cupcake, thus tipping his hat to it. He's trying, like, for this level of self-awareness, like, yeah, you guys all know about the pedophile past, so here's that. And now let's talk about the Eagles. It's just so fucking weird. But yeah, I really didn't want to mention EDP again going forward since it's such a normal thing that happens now, like a little natural disaster that blows through with EDP making an account and trying to get popular again somewhere. And somehow it usually works out for him for a brief moment of time where he'll get a lot of followers in a short amount of time, like he has on TikTok. The guy's like a tardigrade, or as you might know it, a water bear, which is like this tiny little micro animal that can survive pretty much everywhere. In a volcano, in space even. Like, somehow EDP always just comes back and tries to find some place to live on the internet no matter how hard the internet tries to push him away. The tenacity is unreal. But yeah, the reason I was talking about it today is because of the accusations that now came out against him, which isn't a surprising thing if all of those accusations are proven true, given his history and his repeated pattern of inappropriately talking to children. The fact that he is now huge on TikTok, which is a platform that is predominantly a child audience, it isn't surprising that he would once again go back to that pattern of behavior that he's demonstrated while he was on YouTube. So yeah, that's the EDP annual update, and that's about it. See ya. I have sworn multiple times that I would stop talking about EDP445, but just like most people's New Year's resolutions about going to the gym, I'm going to have to break it. Every few months for the last couple of years, like clockwork, he will try and come back to the internet after his historic fall from grace after being caught in the now infamous cupcake sting operation that outed him as a predator. He'll come back with an almost cartoonish development. He has been on this non-stop wild and wacky roller coaster of crazy, goofy shit that he tries. He's this gift that just keeps on giving with the amount of unbelievable shit he tries. Like an everlasting gobstopper of goofs. I've compared him to the box ghost from Danny Phantom, and I think that is just the most apt comparison. He's just this silly villain that keeps popping up every now and then just for people to laugh him off the face of the internet, but he'll always come back as a cameo in later episodes. And that's why we're talking about him again today, because it's that time of the year where EDP tries to make a claim that he's innocent. And this time, he's saying, actually, it was all acting. He was only pretending to be a pedophile. He was method acting as a child molester, as part of a movie production. I know that sounds unbelievable. That sounds like I just made that shit up in a game of Mad Libs, but I'm being serious. That is the angle he's trying. He posted an entire breakdown of his defense that this was all a setup, that it was supposed to just be improv acting, but they published it as a real thing and it cost him his whole career. Now, before diving into the fanfic that EDP tries to craft here like he's working on a fucking Tumblr blog, I do want to make it clear that even though the Cupcake Doomsday sting operation was the apocalypse that brought down the world of EDP, it's far from the only instance of him talking inappropriately and sexually with minors. This was just the only one where they actually caught him in video. You know, this was no longer just blurry photos of Sasquatch or rumors. They finally had him on video flirting with, and then even going to a physical location to meet someone he believed to be a child. This followed sexually charged conversations as well as inappropriate pictures, including a picture of his poopy in a toilet, an actual shit pic. I make sure to mention that anytime EDP's name comes up because god damn it, that shit is crazy. And following all that, he went to the physical location to meet someone he believed to be a kid, and said the reason he was there was actually because his belly was empty, his tummy was growling for a cupcake, which is why it became known as the cupcake incident. But this is just focusing on that video and not any of the other numerous claims and evidence about the way he talked to children and all of that. So let's take it from the top here in the timeline of events. He lays out all the lore, and it dates all the way back to 2019. So he's laying out the goddamn Silmarillion here, preceding the Lord of the Rings events that take place later on. So in 2019, he flew out to Philadelphia for the world premiere of Maybe Next Year, which he was featured in. I suppose this was his acting debut, and that's crucial knowledge here because fast forward to 2021, he received an email from Chet Goldstein, who was the person conducting the investigation on EDP at the time, and he's claiming that in 2021, Chet Goldstein reached out to him, letting him know how impressed he was with EDP's performance in that documentary, saying that he was impressed with his work from Maybe Next Year and wanted to give him a shot for a different part in a film that Chet Goldstein was working on at the time. So he drops a receipt here of an email that basically just echoes that, saying, hey, you know, your work was fucking amazing, can't believe you didn't win an Oscar, would love to have you as part of this next production if you're willing to try out for it, get back to me. EDP responds, ecstatic to take this role. This was really going to blow up his acting career. He confirms an address with him, that it's a Rite Aid location they're meeting at. Chet Goldstein says that, their cameraman will meet them at the Rite Aid parking lot, and it's going to be a random scene that they're going to act out for 30 to 40 minutes to see if he's fit for filming. He says, the scene we may ask you to act out may seem a bit odd, and I may crack some jokes and be rude in certain parts of the shoot that may seem offensive to you, but keep in mind, We have a protocol of situations we may throw at you to see how you respond and act in helping us determine if you're fit for the part. If selected for the part for the film we're shooting in Bakersville in October, we'll reach out in 7 to 14 business days for our meeting. Please message me back to confirm this date. So this is his bombshell, shocking revelation plot twist moment where you see Chet Goldstein actually was just wanting me to act, improv to make sure I was, up to snuff here with the role that I'd be required to play for his production. I was under the impression this was all part of the acting, which even upon hearing this excuse is one of the most unbelievable things I've ever heard. No, you remember that incident from 2 years ago. Keep in mind, he's just now posting this 2 years later. I'm guessing this idea came to him in a dream recently to try this garbage. But why wait 2 years if this is all legitimate? But regardless, all of that pedophile shit, no, that's just because I was a very good actor. I actually fooled all of you. It was acting, but I'm really upset because, I was misled. I was instructed to improv. I had no idea this was going to be the result. But I know what you're thinking. Charles, he posted receipts. He posted emails right there. There's proof. There's evidence to support these outrageous claims. Sometimes reality can be stranger than fiction. And to that I say, I do not like those green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. These are fucking poorly photoshopped emails that he posts. He couldn't even Photoshop or crop it correctly. Look at Chet Goldstein's name. You can still see some of the black flakes at the top where Chet Goldstein was pasted on top of whatever this email originally was, and none of it's even centered in the first place. It doesn't even convincingly look like real emails. It is awful. It is terribly done. And to go even a step further, I can literally hear EDP's voice in the Chet Goldstein text here. He caps locked respond and act, as if that's supposed to drive the point home no, look, it's real. This is super real because respond and act. That's a key word. I'm going to have to capitalize that one so that way people know that this is key. It's blatantly fake. These aren't real emails. But you know what? I'm always willing to play ball and suspend disbelief. Let's assume that this is real somehow. And the odds of this being even remotely real are beyond minuscule, incalculably low odds, but let's assume they are. It still doesn't explain away all of his other repeated behavior with the way he talks to minors or anything like that. And it doesn't even explain away the video itself. There's nothing in there that even gets corroborated with these emails he releases. Nothing checks out, even still, with the video itself and the claims he's making. He did an interview with an AI, I guess. I don't really know, but he's doing this interview with some kind of AI interviewer using some kind of fucking voice modulator. And the way he explains it is even more silly.
He had his business card attached to the email.
Okay, and that was shortly after the movie, maybe next year or so. You put kind of 2 and 2 together and everything aligned to this actually being an opportunity for you.
Correct, yes.
Okay, so Chet emails you and tells you to meet him at the apartment complex? I'm sorry, maybe I'm not understanding.
Well, again, the original meetup spot was at the Rite Aid.
In what fucking solar system would someone be so stupid as to get a random email from someone claiming to be a movie producer who just reached out to you with a cold call saying, hey, your fucking performance in this documentary was superb, spectacular stuff. Come meet me at a Rite Aid where I'm going to have you play a child predator. Would you think that that's a good opportunity? So let's assume he didn't know he was going to be acting as a pedophile. The second that they start spitballing this improv at him okay, so all of these chat logs with this child, you're a pedophile. Why would he play along with it? What opportunity did you think this was? How would portraying a child molester be this golden goose for you? You are already a successful YouTuber with millions of subscribers, but this was your ticket to the big time? This role you thought you were playing, the role of method acting a fucking pedophile? That makes no sense. That is inexplicably ridiculous.
You know what I mean? And then the camera guy, Javier, he actually walked me over to the apartment complex. So in the fucking email, it was just, you know, boom, right here at the Rite Aid. And then camera guy is the one who walked me over to the apartment complex. This is the first time I ever seen this fucking apartment complex. You know what I mean?
This does absolutely nothing to help proclaim his innocence here. If it was at the Rite Aid or the apartment complex, it doesn't fucking change anything. The clips he's showing, the Rite Aid only comes in the frame when EDP is leaving after they're talking about calling the cops and everything. That is when he is actually, like, making his grand getaway from this situation. He starts by going up to the apartment complex and then leaves going out by the Rite Aid.
Do you have any indication on what you're walking into, what type of scene you're going to be acting out?
He didn't tell me shit, basically. You know what I mean? He basically just said, hey, we got some chat logs here. We're going to improv this bitch. Go along with it. I'm just like, all right, cool. So... And then again, you know what I mean? It's like, how the fuck was I supposed to know this was a goddamn, how the fuck was I supposed to know that this was a goddamn setup? Like, it's like, you have fucking business cards, you have the official wavelength bullshit, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers is emailing you and shit. It's like, anybody in their right fucking mind would have thought that this was legit.
I speak for every single living, breathing human being on this planet in saying that nobody in their right mind would have thought this is legit. At all. I will suspend disbelief yet again here to just toy around with this idea. Why the fuck would you even improv this kind of scene? Did you want the role of a pedophile? Did you want that to be your acting legacy? The follow-up to your magnum opus performance in maybe next year you wanted to be the child predator? What sense does that fucking make? This is the dumbest defense ever. And he doesn't even do anything to, like, somehow explain away everything he says and does in the video itself. None of this explains any of it. And this fucking email screenshots are fake emails to begin with. The whole thing is so stupid. But it is laughable that he is actually trying this with a straight face. Obviously, this is yet again another desperate attempt to prove that he's never been a child predator, even though there is overwhelming amounts of evidence, even outside of this big video that came from it. There is still so much evidence against him, and really the only reason he never faced jail time is because the investigation was done by YouTubers and not done in collaboration with law enforcement, so he was able to squeak away based on that, which is something that has happened a lot, unfortunately. So it's crazy he's not even in jail, honestly. And he still keeps trying to come back to the internet. Even after all of this time and all of this shit, he still keeps doing ridiculously goofy shit, like what you just saw there, with trying to say he's not a pedophile, he was only acting. Wild stuff. I just wanted to give a little update here and share that. That's about it. See ya. EDP445 has issued an apology for the cupcake incident from 2 years ago. Not exactly the quickest response time, but it's a little bit faster than Valve responding to Team Fortress 2 issues. So I probably don't even need to give you the lore dump here. The story of EDP445's fall from grace is a more well-known story than Little Red Riding Hood by this point. But just in case, 2 years ago, he was caught in a child predator sting operation, which also unearthed a lot of other repeated instances of him being inappropriate with minors in his community. For this, he lost his entire career, and since then he has desperately been trying to claw his way back to the internet because it's all he knows. It's his only home, so he pathetically comes back like every couple of months for the last 2 years, like clockwork, with a new pitiful attempt at reviving his internet career. There's only a few certainties in life: death, taxes, and EDP coming back when no one wants him to. He's posted videos on every platform that allows video sharing capability. I wouldn't have been surprised if he tried to make a career out of streaming on Xbox 360 Arcade Uno, where they used to let you use the Xbox fucking Connect or whatever in order to like have a webcam chat in Uno servers. Wouldn't have been surprised if he tried that. He has gone to every platform ever and has been banned from all of them. Because what EDP did is unforgivable. This is not something you can ever come back from. He should be counting his lucky stars he's not in jail. He must have had fairy godparents and they granted him one last wish, and it was to avoid jail time. He is the only reason he's not there is because the investigation and all of the evidence was conducted online, so authorities usually don't use that in like actual prosecution or anything. So he must have collected all the fucking Dragon Balls and made a wish, and Shinron kept him out of jail. Because the amount of proof and evidence of not only the cupcake incident, obviously, where he actually went in person to meet a child for sex, not only just that, but like a repeated history of having similar circumstances with being inappropriate with kids, all of this very well documented. The fact that all of that exists and he's not in jail is beyond a miracle for EDP. And now he is once again doing his standard song and dance, trying to get back his internet career and find redemption. He's made a couple other videos in the past addressing it loosely, like where he's like eating a cupcake, so literally leaning into being a pedophile, I guess, and acknowledging it. And then only a handful of months ago, he made a statement on his website that was perhaps one of the wildest ideas ever cooked up by a human brain. He said that the whole cupcake incident, that whole scenario, was actually all acting. He was hired for an acting job to play a pedophile, and he committed to the role, and he had no idea it was going to be used as like a legitimate thing. He thought it was all just a Shakespearean play, basically, just part of, you know, the acting craft. But this is the first video he's made where he's apologizing and talking about it, like actually talking about it. And I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, wow, finally, he's taking accountability. He's starting to, you know, grow now, and you know, maybe he can move on from this. What a bunch of hooey. That is a load of fish paste. He doesn't, in his entire 8.5-minute apology video, he doesn't once refer to what actually happened. When he's talking about being caught in a child predator sting operation, he calls it that YouTube shit.
I want to take full responsibility for my actions that happened on April 21st, 2021. The entire YouTube shit that went down, the entire YouTube incident, you know what I mean, that went the fuck down. I'm not even going to get into it. You guys already know what the fuck happened. I'm taking full responsibility, full accountability for my actions.
He doesn't even say what he did and what he like is guilty of. He just loosely refers to it vaguely and brushes it off quickly. That is the opposite of taking accountability. He doesn't even fucking address it directly. Now, he states one of the reasons for the tardiness behind this apology is because he's been in talks with lawyers over the last couple of years about what he can and cannot say. And I'm just going to slap down the Phoenix Wright objection. I'm calling baloney, because if he did have a team of lawyers behind him after all these years, I'm assuming they would have advised him to not make any of the statements he's made over the last couple of years. Especially the one where he faked emails to try and confirm that all of this was actually just an acting moment. It was all just a ruse. It was supposed to be a movie, not real. It's all fake. Or the other statement he made about how it never happened in the first place and just outright denying it. I feel like if there were lawyers behind him for the last couple of years, they would have told him, do not do that. But let's play ball with that idea for a second. Let's assume he's being truthful. If the lawyers have told him to not mention any of the specifics of the incident, then you can't come on this video and pretend like you're taking accountability or responsibility. If you're not willing to actually tackle what happened and what you are guilty of and actually talk about it directly, then you can't pretend that you're somehow taking accountability or responsibility in the situation. I didn't want to talk about this apology video because I don't think there's any value here. I've already made a few videos talking about EDP over the last 2 years with every attempt he's made to try and come back to the internet. And this is just another one of those. A desperate Hail Mary to try and monetize an internet career again because it is all he has. It is the only home that he knows. So he keeps trying. But this is just not something that you can come back from.
Taking the proper measures and the proper steps forward to seek out help, to try to, you know, get my head on right and to make sure that, you know, in the distant future that I do not hurt, you know what I mean, my loving, caring, supporting friends and family, because they are the ones that hurt the most. They are the ones that suffered the most.
No, they're not. The actual victims are. What do you mean? Yes, of course, they did get caught in the crossfire here from everything you did online, but you should really be apologizing far more to the actual victims. Not just the cupcake incident, but the actual children that you've been inappropriate with over all the years. He mentions that he's getting help to try and, like, not be a danger to children anymore, which is good, taking those steps, but even if they do cure the pedophile, it doesn't mean that you can come back as some kind of content creator again. You cannot have an internet career again after what you've done. Period. Full stop. There is no coming back from that. I do find it very upsetting that when he does make these attempts at comebacks, he does usually find an audience of delusional weirdos that downplay the severity of what he's done in his past. I'm talking about how like pedophilia is not even a big deal and there wasn't any real victims, which is categorically false. He may not have actually met a child during the cupcake incident. It was all a sting operation, but there were very real victims to EDP that most people seem to forget. Actual children he was being inappropriate with. There are victims. Like, it's not just that one time with the sting operation, the fucking Chris Hansen have a seat to catch a predator moment for EDP. There was many more. It's just not something you move on from. Now, he does mention at the very beginning of the video that he's come close to, like, hurting himself and ending it all over the last couple of years as a result of everything that happened with this whole situation. And he mentions that he's extremely remorseful for all of it and recognizes that it's all his fault. And he also mentions that his family has been harassed a lot from all of this. And overall, yeah, it's sad to hear that, but again, it is all your fault. You can't come back to the internet after all of this. You are a danger to children. You preyed on kids in your audience. You can't come back online from that. You should have been in jail, but got extremely lucky to avoid that. So you should have been satisfied with just being able to stay out of jail and completely cut ties with the internet. Buckle down in the real world and just do something else and never come back online. Now, I understand over the last 2 years he has tried getting other jobs, but some people have recognized him and felt unsafe because, shocker, child predators are a danger in society. So he did lose his job, his other couple of jobs he's had over the last couple of years, but that doesn't mean you just quit and then just go back to the internet to try and monetize there for your career. You cannot come back from what you did online, period. So you should have just kept trying to find a job that you can hold down where people aren't going to recognize and harass you, and just stay pursuing that. He also does mention that the reason he's making the apology is because he wants to eventually have redemption online, which I think what he's done is irredeemable. I really do. I feel like most people probably do as well. It's an unforgivable act, but he keeps trying. And I don't even think this apology is genuine. This feels once again like another plan of his to try and crawl back online, because he has done it so many times before. This is not really taking accountability or responsibility. He keeps saying that it is, but he can't even address the actual issue itself. And like, not only the cupcake incident, he doesn't even mention the other victims outside of that either. So he doesn't actually even take any accountability or anything like that. So I don't even think it's coming from a place of like genuine remorse or anything. It really seems like it's coming from a place of desperation to find a career again online. So yeah, that's about it. So yep. What? You looking at the purple stains on my shirt, huh, tough guy? You think I need some kind of bib from now on because I'm a messy eater that can't be trusted to not spill food on himself? Well, okay, Haas Delgado, sometimes accidents happen, and I could have easily changed my shirt before recording this video and you would have been none the wiser. You'd have no idea. But a real man's not afraid to own up to his mistakes. I'm not hiding away from it. So the stained shirt stays on. If you can't handle me at my dirtiest, you don't deserve me at my cleanest. But anyway, what we're here to talk about today is something everyone knew was coming because it's that time of the year. EDP getting caught again talking to minors and trying to be sexual with children. Who could have seen this coming, besides every single human being in the world with a pulse? The only two certainties in this world are death and EDP looking for cupcakes. Yesterday, it was revealed that he had once again been talking sexually with a minor. Now, I do need to say that this is all currently still just alleged claims here, though there is substantial evidence to suggest that it could be legitimate. I'm inclined to believe what's being presented here because it seems like it's been done thoroughly and through proper channels instead of just being like a YouTuber done investigation for clout. This really does seem like this could lead to real justice being served to EDP, who eluded justice over the last couple of years because of the previous investigation not being done through proper channels. So everything that's going on currently does seem to be legitimate, but it is important to say that they are all currently still allegations that he's been talking inappropriately with an underage girl. Apparently, he also sent nudes of himself to this minor. And I don't know if he sent any pictures of his poop in a toilet bowl this time around, which is his signature anime finishing move. Last time, a couple years ago, when he was caught sexting someone he believed to be a child. He sent a picture of his shit in the toilet, and this time around in season 20 of EDP being a disgusting child predator, we don't have any hard evidence to confirm nor deny the existence of shit pics in his exchange with this child. So, I'm sure as the investigation continues, more information will come to light and we'll know for sure. Now, the victim in this situation has come forward publicly, and there are a lot of chat logs that have released from it. I don't know if it's every single exchange they've ever had, or if there's still more. If it is every single exchange they've had, it doesn't seem like there's any shit pics, but, you know, you can never be too sure when it comes to EDP's sexting. He really likes to send pictures of his poopy. So what happened? Yesterday, a very big YouTuber named Gideon released a set of pictures as well as a short clip that had him dressed in a cupcake costume while confronting EDP with somebody else there as well. EDP is very upset about it. I'll go ahead and play you the clip.
It's not a fucking joke, man.
I'm just seldom at a loss for words. You know, 2 years ago you were caught
Kiss my ass.
in 4K trying to meet a 13-year-old.
Really?
I'm not talking to you. He's talking to
Really,
you.
my nigga, this is bullshit, man, that y'all pulling right now?
When I initially saw this, I thought there was a small chance that this could all just be some kind of prank video that was being staged here. But then I started to think rationally, and I came to the conclusion, what kind of fucking deranged individual would willingly lean into being a pedophile? Now, I know EDP has tried many bold tactics to squeak out of everything that's happened over the last 2 years. One of the most outrageous, outlandish claims I've ever heard is that all of it was just method acting for a role that he was playing. And I did think for a second this could be another example of that. But you'd have to be unhinged to like the highest level, like literally Arkham Asylum insane, to do something like this as a joke. Not only on EDP's part, but on Gideon's part, as well as the other YouTuber there. His name is Skeeter Gene. This would be diabolical to fake something like this. Skeeter is a self-proclaimed Chris Hansen impersonator who is a vigilante predator hunter. Now, I'm sure most of you are a little concerned hearing that because in the past, you may know that vigilante predator hunters usually stand in the way of getting justice for the predators they catch. Authorities can't often use the information or investigation that the vigilante predator hunters accumulated. It just gets thrown out, which leads to the pedophiles facing no consequence. They don't get arrested. It's why EDP isn't in jail right now, because the last time he was caught, it was all conducted by YouTubers and authorities wiped their ass with the entire case. But with Skeeter Gene Hansen, from everything I've seen on his channel, and keep in mind, I'm only just now being made aware of him, so I haven't seen everything he's ever done, but from the bits that I've seen, he actually does collaboratively work with law enforcement and has actually conducted investigations that led to arrests for some of the predators that he was investigating. So it seems like he's actually doing this the proper way, with the proper authorities, through the right channels, and getting justice. So I'm optimistic that this was all done the right way. An important thing to note is that the picture of Gideon and Skeeter confronting EDP directly, as well as the clips that are surfacing from it, are not part of a sting operation. They didn't lead some kind of, false narrative or anything, or try and bait EDP to meet them somewhere under the guise of meeting up with a child or anything like last time. They didn't try and catch him in Operation Cupcake Crusader 2.0. They just knew where he was going and wanted to confront him directly for the way he was conducting himself with another child with the sexual messages they were allegedly exchanging. So Gideon went there dressed as a cupcake, obviously making fun of him. Skeeter went there with chat logs and bringing those to him directly. And they weren't like entrapping him or anything. That piece, that clip and the pictures was just a piece of making fun of him to his face and confronting him. So they apparently are actually building up a real case with law enforcement against him. So everything in person that they did is totally separate from that, I believe. Gideon actually came on my stream last night when I was going over this situation to further explain it. So I'm going to let him lay down exactly what happened.
With this case, he actually talked to a 15-year-old girl.
Like a real one, not like a decoy?
No, like a real legit, 15-year-old girl.
Yeah, that's not super shocking. a lot of people don't remember this, but he had a history of communicating inappropriately with minors way before that sting operation. So if that's true, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
When we did this, like, we actually did this like a month ago. So I've been sitting on this for like a month and a half. But I was fully expected to like hold on to this for a year and then drop it. The only reason I dropped it today was because the victim, she went public with everything. And it kind of like threw me off because I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But when I talked to her after she did it, she was like, yeah, the cop said it's all good and stuff. So I was just like, oh, okay. So I dropped it too. But I'm most likely probably going to be going to court with her because...
Oh, what? Wait, what?
Yeah, so like I'm kind of like involved with the case now. Like the authorities, like they have my number and everything. They haven't contacted me yet.
Okay, so was this like a investigation you conducted with like a team? Did you work collaboratively with the police? Like, what exactly is all of it?
I tried to do an interview with him back in early July, but he phase drugged me and he was like, oh, you gotta pay me. When we talked, he wasn't talking about paying and stuff. So I was like, bro, I'm not about to pay a fucking pedo. And so he left, but he joined my Discord. And the girl was in my Discord, and that's how he found her. And he messaged her because she had all of her social media in her Discord stuff.
This all sounds... Did you ever like contact authorities about it? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, so the thing about it is like I can't do it. Like she did it. So what she did was she contacted my mods, and my mods told me. And then I hopped on a call with her. And the first thing I did was I was like, let me talk to your mom. So I talked to her mom. Her mom was aware of everything. And so once I got situated, she sent me everything. And then I gave it over to Skeet because, he's a professional with this.
Mm-hmm. The girl he was talking to, was she doing this to try and catch him? Or was she...
So he hit her up. He hit her first. So that's the thing. Like, if she would have hit him up first, I don't know the legality of it. Either way, like he said, dick pics her, so he's fucked in that case. I'm not gonna lie, we caught him lacking at the dialysis center. Don't ask me how. I knew he was gonna be there, but we caught him lacking.
So that clip that you showed, that's not him going somewhere to try and meet that girl?
No.
Okay.
No.
I would just hope that justice would finally be served because he's skirted away from that for a while.
And that's the thing that I wanted to do with this. Like, that's why I was so willing to wait like a year, because I was afraid that it would have messed up the investigation.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is actually getting justice as opposed to like the content of it. So hopefully this leads to a legitimate case against him, because he is not safe to be around children in any way, shape, or form. So that's pretty much all that's known about what is going on at the moment. It sounds like this wasn't a planned sting operation. This was EDP doing what he does best, talking inappropriately with children, and the victim alerted Gideon, who alerted Skeeter Gene Hansen, who alerted authorities, and are now all collaboratively... Jesus, I am really struggling with that word today. That shit is really making it difficult for me. I'm fumbling it. Collaboratively with law enforcement to build a case against him and hopefully pursue real justice for someone that is, for too long now, been allowed to continue preying on children. So, after hearing kind of the general outline of everything, I'm optimistic that A, it's all done properly, B, it's all real, that this isn't some big ruse, some kind of giant joke. Again, I think that would be extraordinarily evil and ridiculous if this does all turn out to be fake, which I don't think it is. And 3, the most important, that this entire investigation leads to real justice. So EDP can no longer keep preying on the children in his audience. It's just, for too long, he has been able to continue coming back like this reoccurring villain. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man type shit? I compared him to the box ghost. Just this fucking cartoonish villain that keeps coming back, keeps getting defeated, but no real consequences. So just comes back again later on, making another cameo. It's been happening for 2 years. So hopefully this will finally be the case where EDP no longer gets to do these kind of awful things. So yeah, just wanted to talk about this, and I'm going to keep my finger on the pulse of this story to see what's going on with all of it. That's about it. So yeah. A few years ago, Mike Klum came out of nowhere from the top turnbuckle, delivering a flying elbow drop that no one was expecting. Fresh off the battle bus, he deployed a cinematic experience that really kind of took the internet by storm, a professional, extraordinary documentary on Boogie 2988. And since then, it'd been radio silence. But there were some whispers and some information floating around about his next project that he was hard at work on, a documentary covering EDP445, Eat That Pussy 445. And now, it's here. Well, the trailer is. He just dropped the trailer for it, The Sick Mind of EDP, and the full documentary is scheduled for August 9th. And I'm gonna spill the beans here, cat's out of the bag. I've seen the whole thing. Not only have I seen the entirety of the documentary, I've even seen the fucking Snyder Cut version of it, of things that didn't make it. It is legitimately unbelievable. And to be clear, this isn't a documentary that just aims to slopify a criminal, which EDP is. And he openly admits to, I think it was like close to 20 crimes throughout the entirety of the documentary. It might have been more. He himself openly admits to tons of crimes. And the documentary isn't just like a piece of entertainment to point and laugh at EDP. It tells the whole story and showcases the dangerously delusional, violent predator that he is, and brings in like professionals to also talk about it as well. It's not just like this, goofy piece or anything. It is covering a genuinely dangerous, evil person. Like, I really wouldn't be surprised for renewed interest from the authorities after this documentary comes to light here, because I'm not kidding or exaggerating. He brazenly admits to so many crimes, confirming his intent behind so many things in regards to children. Like, I don't know how these things could just be ignored by authorities when he himself is just fucking bragging about it and going into detail on all of it. So that way there's no confusion or guesswork or anything. There's even a section where Mike talks to like a lawyer about all of this and like, hey, what would you say to EDP? And immediately he says, stop doing the documentary, shut the fuck up.
So what advice would I give to EDP445? You need to stop doing this documentary.
That's a piece of it, but he was expressing confusion that he would even agree to do this because he is just outwardly admitting to all of these crimes, remorse with no remorse, like even just casually talking about his crimes and like his intent and everything. It is shocking, like genuinely, like I'm not using that as like a buzzword. It was shocking to watch this. And Mike Klum financed this entire thing out of his own pocket for the better part of 2 years. And the quality here, it's indistinguishable from like the biggest budget documentaries that you'll find, like Netflix documentaries. It's an incredible work here. Like this is his magnum opus. Like this was a 2.5 year-ish project. And the work that went into it, man, the thousands of hours, it shows. I really wouldn't be surprised if EDP does end up in handcuffs after this premieres. Like, I know that's probably like really, over the top to even think something like that's a possibility. But when you watch this documentary, you'll see what I mean. He openly talks about his crimes that he got away with. And the documentary doesn't pull any punches or shy away from it. Mike Klum shows you all of it, and EDP himself doesn't shy away from it. He admits to all of it numerous times. Some crimes I didn't even know he'd committed, he talks about. I just don't know how the local law enforcement would plug their ears and shield their eyes to it. Like, he openly brags about it. You'll always remember this the day you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow, and he just keeps going on and on and on about all of these crimes. Like, he's not a ghost, he's not fucking DB Cooper. He is proudly talking about it, bragging about it. So, like, to me, it feels like there should be like a subsequent investigation from the local law enforcement at the very least to look into EDP here about all of this shit that is documented and that he talks about as well. But I also really appreciate that Mike Klum is using this documentary to benefit victims of sexual violence. The money that is being raised through this documentary is going directly to RAIN, which is a charity to help victims of sexual violence, which I thought was just such a nice gesture. I think that's just extraordinary. So Mike Klum spent 2.5 years on this, financed out of his own pocket to deliver this masterpiece documentary here, and the money is helping people that could really benefit from it. RAIN is a great charity, and I think that's just super nice. Anyway, though, I've been yapping a lot about it. Let me show you a little bit more of the trailer here. I highly recommend you go check out the whole thing. He has the premiere scheduled if you want to, save a tab for it so you don't miss it.
Fucking a bitch's innocence away,
Why do you think you wanted to have sex with a 13-year-old?
I mean, the reason why I wanted to have sex with a 13-year-old is already fucking clear.
I have to interject here. I can't resist. It's like an itch I have to scratch because I now that I can yap about it, it's hard not to yap about it because the things EDP says and does throughout this documentary are incomprehensible. I do not think any of you are, you couldn't even fathom like what is in the documentary here. So like that little clip right there where he says verbatim the reason why he wanted to have sex with a 13-year-old is pretty fucking clear. He says shit like that throughout the documentary numerous times with no shame whatsoever. He is just openly talking about it. Like just openly talking about it. And he like the things he agrees to do, like the shots of him in the orange jumpsuit behind bars and stuff like that. He just actually wanted to do all that. Like, there's a scene in here as well where they're outside of, like, a real prison with him in the jumpsuit. There's a scene where he digs his own grave. Like, it really is a fucking sick mind. Like, EDP is, like, yes, it is, like, become a source of, like, goofs and gags to, like, point and laugh at EDP. But it's important to remember, like, he actually is, like, a dangerous man. Like, he actually is, like, a fucking filthy, degenerate man who is a very not safe person to be around. And there are so many things in this documentary that make that abundantly clear. Now, in the version that we saw when Mike brought it to us at the farm, it was the raw version, and it couldn't exist on YouTube in that form. So I have no doubt that it's gone through some changes so that way it can stay on the platform. But in the version that we watched, even off rip, like one of the first scenes is Mike and EDP are in a car, EDP's driving, they stop, and then there's some kids outside on the sidewalk nearby because there's a school, and just totally unprompted, out of nowhere, EDP just starts talking really creepily about those children. Like, this is a dangerous predator. And there are multiple instances where he just goes on these fucking monologues, like these sexual-fueled monologues about, like, some unhinged, gross shit. Another thing that becomes very clear in the documentary is his infatuation with the idea of violence. He talks multiple times, a lot really, about how close he is to killing people, like the people he wants to murder. He is glued to the idea of violence. Like, this is an unstable, evil, sick predator. And something Mike did that I thought was a really good idea is he brings in like professionals to talk about EDP as well in the documentary and present through it, like that lawyer you heard from a moment ago. And I think that adds a lot to the overall documentary. He also has like recreations of his childhood using actors and stuff, which was a pretty wild endeavor to go through here, to like actually hire actors for the documentary, which is why he's calling it a cinematic experience there, because it is like a cinematic experience going through like his history, but it is one that is aiming to tell the story of this dangerous man who has got away with unthinkable shit. And I'm hopeful that this will lead to at least some kind of reinvigorated interest in the case of EDP from the authorities, hopefully, fingers crossed. And at the very least, at least it's benefiting victims of sexual violence through the money that it's raising for RAIN. Anyway, I wanted to yap about this a bit since I saw the trailer went up today. I cannot wait for August 9th for it to drop. Mike Klum really did outdo himself, man. This is a pretty unbelievable documentary. That's really about it. So yeah. The full documentary on EDP445 just dropped, and a lot of people have now had time to finish watching it. As I said, it is a wild ride. It is a depraved, dark look at a monster. Like, EDP445 has become like a meme online, but it's important to remember he is legitimately like a dangerous, unhinged, evil predator. And as people have now seen in this documentary, he is not shy about talking about that. He unapologetically, with no remorse, even a smile on his face, thinking that he's fucking aura farming every time he talks about the crimes that he's got away with, flaunting the fact that he's not in jail, despite him openly and often talking about his desire to have sex with underage girls.
Why did you show up that day? Why did you go to that location? What did you think was going to happen?
I showed up to that location that day, trying to, obviously meet up with an underage girl. You know what I mean? And I guess you can say, trying to have sex. I don't know. I mean, whatever.
You trying to have sex with a 13-year-old girl?
For the most part, yep. People have a tendency of doing this, I feel like, because they enjoy the innocence and having control of somebody. You know?
Sounds like that's what you wanted to do.
Right.
Nobody your age you could have hung out with.
No.
No women your age you could date. You had to pick on a 13-year-old girl.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my God, babe, it's a playful spank, you say. When I spank you, it's supposed to be sexy, LOL. If anything, I just bend you over and kiss your ass. Yes, well, maybe, but only if you're a good girl. What are you trying to do here with this?
What do you think I'm trying to do?
Well, it sounds like you're trying to sexually assault a 13-year-old girl.
If that's what it looks like, I guess that's what it is then. I mean...
Handcuff you. Throw you in the back of my car and bring you back to my dungeon, LOL. You talk about climbing through a window.
Mm-hmm.
You're so hot and cute and even had me jerking off. Were you masturbating when you were talking to her?
Mm-hmm.
You sent her pictures?
Yeah.
You sent her pictures of your penis?
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Right, I know.
It's illegal. Had Alex Rosen not botched this, you might be in prison right now.
Thank God he didn't.
And this is what I was saying when the trailer dropped. I don't know how authorities would just, like, ignore all of this. Not only is there the overwhelming evidence, and yes, a botched investigation, but now EDP himself is openly confirming that he did have the intention of having sex with a child. And throughout the documentary, there are so many numerous instances of him saying the same kind of stuff about his desire to have sex with underage kids. How would this not lead to an investigation? Like, I know it's probably naive of me to think that maybe there's a chance that they'll look at this and maybe take action, but really, I can't, like, my noodle can't even process the idea that he can just openly talk about all of this and the authorities just go, well, nothing we can do about that, huh? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, this is just one example I pulled from because it's just so blatant and he just keeps reiterating it, confirming not only did he go there with the intention of having sex with what he believed to be a 13-year-old, but then also that he was sending naked pictures, explicit pictures of his penis to what he believed to be a 13-year-old. These are serious crimes. He is admitting to them. There is also, of course, the evidence to confirm all of that. But yes, as mentioned, it was a botched investigation. And I know when the trailer initially dropped, a lot of people were rightfully concerned that maybe the documentary would be taking the stance glorifying vigilante predator catchers, even though in a lot of instances they've been somewhat counterproductive to getting these monsters thrown in jail, because some of them are not doing the work required to actually lead to the convictions. Well, now that the full documentary is dropped, I think it becomes abundantly clear that that is not the stance it's taking. I think Mike Klum does a tremendous job of highlighting that EDP is a great example for vigilante predator catchers not always doing what's best for getting these fucking vile cretins, these degenerates, off the streets. He is someone who has been investigated by numerous vigilante predator catchers and nothing's happened to him. And EDP openly gloats about it. So the documentary doesn't make the vigilante predator catchers look good. Alex Rosen, Skeeter Jean, Gideon, none of them come out of this looking good. There's a lot of, like, very questionable at best things that happened here in the handling of what is very clearly a dangerous predator here. Yet, the way that they conducted these investigations, it wasn't prosecutable. It didn't lead to EDP's arrest. And that's a fucking issue. It should have gone to authorities instead of being turned solely into content. It's not like a good look there that people were thinking that this documentary was going to be, you know, making it look amazing or anything. It doesn't. It's highlighting a very real problem with it where when it's not done well, and in a lot of cases it's not, it does lead to very bad people like EDP getting away with these extremely serious crimes. So I know initially people were rightfully worried that this documentary wasn't going to be taking this serious enough, but I think it's very clear now, if you watch the full documentary, it is handling the very dark, depraved elements of this with, like, genuine care. And the whole thing aims to benefit victims of sexual abuse through RAIN. All of the profits made from the documentary are going directly to RAIN, which is a charity for victims of sexual abuse and helping there. And so I think that's tremendous, and I really appreciate Mike Klum for doing that. And I really do think the documentary handles this very well. Like, yeah, there are obviously some very silly moments in there, like bringing Chris Hansen on is obviously a bit of a spectacle, but also it has EDP opening up to him and once again confirming crimes and the intentions behind those crimes. Like, all of this I feel is very, I think, compelling evidence for why authorities should be looking into EDP and actually arresting this guy. And like I said, it's not just that. There are other sections in here showcasing his infatuation and obsession really with violence, the idea of committing violence against people he doesn't like and things like that. It's not just on like the history of his crimes. It explores like everything about his life and what he's currently doing and all of that with his life. He also is a very online guy who even has some influencers he says he can't imagine life without. The biggest being Andrew Tate. This guy, he fucking loves him. He's on his titties hard. In his room, he even has Andrew Tate pictures plastered all over it. One of them that says discipline, like Andrew Tate's face with discipline on it, JPEG. And he's got that shit hung up like it's a fucking fireman's calendar. He then, right next to that, has an AI-generated photo of Andrew Tate and Elon Musk and a bunch of other goobers playing poker while he is there in the dark watching porn, talking about his fucking degeneracy that he does in public.
Jordan Peterson, you definitely watch porn. Come on, nigga. Let's stop lying. The craziest place I actually did beat my shit is in a fucking Walgreens bathroom. I stole a magazine off the rack, and I went in that bitch, and I just started fucking letting my shit have it in that bathroom. I ain't give a fuck. In the girls' bathroom, by the way.
Why the girls' bathroom?
I wanted to make it, well, I beat off in the girls' bathroom because I wanted to make it that much more fucking pleasurable and fucking intense.
Because the girls would be around?
Hell yeah. You already fucking know.
The way he hits the finger gun after talking about beating his shit in the girl's bathroom, letting his wiener have it, choking the chicken there because he thought there might be some girls around. Like, come on. Like, look how proud he seems of it. He's like giddy about this. And that is his attitude throughout the whole documentary while openly talking about his crimes. And like I said, it is fully exploring like everything about EDP, looking into the mind of a fucking sick psychopath, dangerous predator. And he does have some influencers that he is like very much a huge fan of. It's not just Andrew Tate. There is even a section where he likes to make a special mention and shout out for them. Now, one of them that he really hates is me. He fucking despises me, which is great. I would be ashamed if EDP was a fan. I would actually be inconsolable if I learned that EDP liked my shit. So, me making his bitch list is, I think, very prestigious. Like, I'm very, very happy about that. But here's the people that he likes.
Introduce you guys to the real fucking gangsters of the fucking internet, you know what I mean? First up, we got Andrew Tate. He likes to preach about men and women not being equal, because they're not fucking equal. Next up, we got my motherfucking main bitch, Donald fucking Trump. We got my man, Joe Rogan. This guy's a fucking beast, man. I love this bald-headed ass bitch, you know what I mean? We got Fresh and Fit, in his podcast, he's always shitting on fucking women. Yeah, it's fucking, I love that bitch. Andrew Tate's brother, so yeah, you're already fucked. That's enough said. On to my motherfucking main nigga, Ben Shapiro. Listen to him and you'll be great in life. Sneeko, guy is cool as fuck. Sneeko, if you're watching this shit, come on out to Vegas, man. I'll treat you to some fucking tacos. Next up, we got Pearl Davis. Love this hoe because she shits on women and she is a fucking woman, you know what I mean? These are the certified OGs of the internet, and I couldn't imagine a world without them.
Zoinks. So yeah, this is a very deep look into EDP's life and everything about him, everything that he's done, and everything that he admits to doing. Like, it is, like, I really don't know how else to describe it beyond just, it is fucking sickening. And the fact that he is not in jail is nothing shy of an affront to God. It is, I think, just inexcusable that he is not behind bars. And hopefully, again, I understand it might be naive, but hopefully this can lead to more investigating into EDP and a subsequent arrest. He openly admits to so many crimes. It's just, I can't recommend this documentary enough. I know EDP's name has been turned into a meme, but it is important to remember. This is a dangerous monster. This is a vile predator. And this documentary highlights that. I think Mike Klum did an amazing job. I think it's fantastic work. And I really do appreciate that all of the proceeds are going to a good cause. Like, I think that's a really nice cherry on top. So I highly recommend you watch the full thing. I'll, of course, put a link to it in the description of this video. Anyway, that's really about it. So, yeah.